Anyway, we should be live now.
Let me back up.
And there'll be a couple seconds delay for the.
Still says waiting. Let me see. Let me load the page. Oops, still says waiting. Wait. Now it's live. Okay, great.
Okay, yeah. There's a delay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back.
So last time.
Last time my ISP fucked me.
That's right. You can't trust those bastards.
American internet sucks. I hate it. Regional monopolies, fuck them.
I think the US has like the worst price to quality ratio of internet like anywhere in the world.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, that reminds me of so you know Adam Conover, right? He does like
I do.
he does like interviews now with people,
Uh-huh.
on his show, and he had one coming to talk about the AI boom and how it's almost certainly a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And he talked about how like we've basically reached the point where everyone who has access to the internet, who might have any interest in being in the internet, is on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So you've reached market saturation. So we're at the point where, in order to increase the number of people on the internet and the amount of time they spend on the internet, you actually have to improve the infrastructure for internet, and that's like a decades long project.
Yeah. It's expensive, it's unsexy, and it's just you get the government to do it, and the government does it, and it takes 30 years, and then the whole world has good high-speed internet.
But that isn't sexy or cool or fast.
No, it's not. You can't make a pod out of it. You can't, sell investors on the cool, sexy new thing we've done before, 1,000 times before.
Yeah, it's we maybe hit peak internet.
I saw somewhere recently, I don't know if this is still true, but I think it was true at the time, 6 months ago or so. If you take out the tech stocks from the stock market, the economy is basically in free fall. Like nothing is worth anything.
That is, I am not at all surprised about that.
No, me either.
Like over the past couple years, basically, I've had a couple different jobs, and basically every company I've worked for, I'm like, how the fuck do we make any money?
You don't.
And the answer is we don't, actually. We don't make any money. Like, business is terrible, everything's inefficient, all our equipment's broken. Or terribly managed. And so the idea that basically the bubble that is the tech industry is the only thing holding up the American economy, it's like, yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, that's why I heard recently. My headphones came unplugged, so hopefully nobody can hear that. I heard recently the Fed was considering lowering rates like very significantly, and like that's just going to make the whole problem of like we're in sort of a stagflationary kind of period, like we were in the 70s.
Yeah,
like
we have inflation, but the economy won't grow. We're literally in stagflation. We're literally in stagflation, right? We're inflating, and the economy won't grow. That's stagflation.
You're right. And last time that happened, it killed Keynesianism, and neoliberalism was there to step in. And I don't know if there is anything there to step in now. If neoliberalism is going to die,
right? Because the problem is we have inflation, and how do you fight inflation? You raise the interest rates, but the economy won't grow. How do you make the economy grow? You lower interest rates.
Right.
Well, what the fuck do you do? We only have the one dial to control the economy. It goes up or it goes down. We can't have it both ways.
It turns out controlling the economy is more complicated than changing a single number.
I mean, I agree, right? The fact is that the government simply lacks the mechanisms to effectively manage the economy. Um,
Yeah.
it's sort of one of my
So
complaints about the new Biden tariffs, right? So tariffs aren't necessarily a bad idea, right?
right.
I'm going against economic orthodoxy in this. Tariffs
Yeah.
aren't
Well.
necessary, right? Tariffs aren't necessarily a bad idea, but you kind of need the cooperation of the companies that you're protecting in order to make it work. And if
Hmm.
you don't get that cooperation, you're basically just going to fuck your own economy. So a great example of this is U.S. Tariffs on automobiles from like the 60s onward. Or actually, I think it would have been the 70s onward.
Hmm.
Right? Where Japan, most importantly, Japan was gearing up production, was making, quality cars much cheaper than the U.S. was because they adopted flexible production chains.
Yeah. Ironically, they listened to the American management experts that we sent over in the post-war period to reboot the Japanese economy, but who we would not listen to
Yeah,
because they wanted to do things like pay workers a fair wage and industrialize efficiently.
yeah, that's the thing, right? Flexible production schemes predated, I think, even World War II. Uh,
Yeah,
but they didn't want to do them because it would empower the unions too much.
yeah.
So the Japanese auto manufacturers were like, we're going to do this, and we're going to negotiate with the unions. So, Japanese auto plant workers are very well paid, good benefits. You know, if you're furloughed, you're basically guaranteed to get rehired at some point in the future. Very solid. Uh, the American auto manufacturers were totally against this because they just didn't want to empower the unions anymore. So Japan was stomping the U.S. auto industry, and they're like, we want tariffs to protect us. And they got tariffs to protect them. And what did they do with their new protections? Well, they just sort of leaned on it, right? We're just going to continue to operate in the same shitty way we always have and not improve anything. And then, eventually, even with the tariffs, right, Japanese auto manufacturing gets so much better than American auto manufacturing that the American audio industry goes bankrupt.
Yeah. I used to drive an American car, and it I liked driving it, but as a machine, it sucked. Like I didn't even get 100,000 miles on it before it basically just completely fell apart.
Yeah,
Um, and
like
now I drive a foreign car.
I mean,
It's much nicer.
that's the thing, right? Like if you compare American-made cars to foreign-made cars here, at all, right? Your Fords and GMs to your Toyotas and your whatevers, right? Like
Hmm.
American-made cars are less technologically advanced, they're less durable, they're less pleasant to drive, flat out,
Hmm.
right? And
And they're less attractive.
I mean,
Foreign cars, like the car I drive, I think is very aesthetically pleasing. It's very different than other cars.
yeah. So, right, and even right, so the American auto manufacturing has been basically just trying to play catch up because they just got tariffs to protect their shitty business practices, right? So that's a good example of like bad tariffs.
Hmm.
Uh, and the problem is that the problem is I think the Biden administration is pursuing the same kind of bad tariffs, right? They're going to protect the U.S. steel and steel industry and the electric car manufacturing from
Hmm.
Chinese influence, and they're not going to get those companies to actually get their shit together and improve, right? They're just
Right.
going to lean on that until Chinese electric cars, which are already apparently very very cheap, are going to become so cheap and so high quality that even with the tariff, American electric car manufacturers aren't going to be able to compete.
Yeah. It doesn't matter that much because we don't have the kind of infrastructure necessary to support. Like it works in China because they have all that high-speed rail.
Yeah.
Um,
That's another thing, right? If they really want to help the American car industry, make electric vehicles, put out a government effort to develop charging stations.
mhm.
Uh, it's,
And better chargers.
and better chargers that work faster. Like, actually, like, I think this is actually an error in the U.S. Postal Service, right, where the new vehicle they decided to adopt was gas and not electrical.
It's stupid.
Right, the thing is that U.S. Post, like, with how U.S. post offices work, they are actually basically ideal candidates for electric vehicles. The vehicles go on fixed routes. They don't go very far. They go very slowly, and they always return to a central place. So the problem with it, right? The thing you'd have to put real effort to is to have those post offices outfitted with substantial electric charging stations, which would also be a good jumping off point to promoting those across the U.S. infrastructure system.
Yeah, buses would be good for that, because for the same reasons. I mean, of course, none of these are as good as fixed rail infrastructure, but, it's something.
Yeah. Anyway. That's us bitching about politics.
Yeah.
Also, as a final aside, I think RDP might not realize that we're communists.
I mean, we were kind of hiding it a little bit at first, but we've just sort of dropped that entirely.
I mean,
if he hasn't figured it out by now.
I mean, I was being diplomatic about it for the sake of some of the players that we had that I knew who weren't, as political or whatnot. But, like, now that, it's you, Jeff, Yavo, and Damon in there, it's like, how can I not go, full Ushanka on this bitch, right? Like,
he does adopt the language, so he's paying attention at least.
And I don't know whether or not I should just come out and, like, tell him directly, or, like, just...
He'll figure it out if he hasn't figured it out already.
I guess. Anyway, let's resume our American imperialism simulator.
Yeah. We are way far back.
Did it not give us... Oh, man. That's bullshit.
Enjoy it while you can, Marines.
Let me see.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Let's at least go up a checkpoint.
Yeah. So that's the Ark. What's after the Ark?
So...
Because that was like the entire hour and such and a half or so we played last time. Floodgate, the Ark...
Let's at least go to, like, Bravo checkpoint in the Ark. Or you want to go to Charlie checkpoint?
I don't remember. We got to the cartographer. That's what I remember.
I don't know if that's the right one. Let's just do Charlie and see if that's...
Alright, fine.
How far that is in. Accept... Normal...
Stream prep? What's that? Who preps for a stream?
No, we got a bitch at the beginning.
That's right.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it at Total Party Kilroy. Support our Patreon.
Support our Patreon. Give Kilroy $5.
Yes, please.
Alright, this is pretty close.
Yeah, this is...
Let me have a look. Little bastard stung me.
I did not want you to come to any harm.
Funny way of showing it.
Why do you shoot him, you piece of shit?
Die. Die. Die.
Stop wasting ammo.
Boop. Boop.
I'm clear.
Well, I'm opaque.
I've decided to be pearlescent and translucent. Alright, I remember where we are now.
But do you really?
Wanna hurt me? Do you really wanna make me... Or whatever.
Do
There we go.
you really wanna mock me? Do you really wanna make me
Your
risk?
goal is just below.
We've got him
Oh,
on the
that was
run.
I died.
Yep, I saw that.
Boy, are we glad to see you, Arbiter. Reinforcements!
Womp.
Wah wah.
Alright, here's the cutscene.
Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash.
That's our galaxy. We're beyond the rim.
2 to the 18th light years from Galactic Center, to be precise.
What is this place?
The Ark.
This is the Ark?
I had always assumed it was part of a shield installation, but it seems I was mistaken.
That's a first.
Not at all. While I had a complete understanding of Installation 04,
It's not at all unusual. I'm usually a dumbass, actually.
Compartmentalization, in case I was ever captured by the plot.
Can you
I read some of the Halo lore,
and
and it's so dumb.
Supraluminal communication arrangements.
The original Halo lore or the new Halo lore?
Oh, the new Halo lore. Like, who 343 Guilty Spark is.
Oh, the new Halo lore is so fucking stupid.
It's dumb.
The barrier will be difficult.
Do you know there were 2 different arcs and 2 different sets of Halo rings?
Comprehensive defense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
Phantom!
Spark, move.
We must get past that barrier, or the network will destroy it all.
Dude, why couldn't we just fly in?
Yeah, why couldn't we do that?
Fucking Covenant. Doing things this easy way.
Good. Pelican's gonna land 1 level down.
Why 1 level down? Just land right here.
Yeah, it's fucking wide open, man. What's the deal?
There you are, Network.
Gotcha.
Demon is over here! There he is.
They dead?
They dead. Oh, it's a turret. It's like, what is this thing I have? Time to walk diagonally.
Ha! I'm gonna make this one into a rug.
The pack will feast on you!
The Mauler's kind of a dumb weapon.
Is that the brute pistol thing?
Yeah, the brute pistol shotgun thing.
Yeah.
Dang invisibrutes.
There's one. That's impenetrable.
Hang tight, Chief. We're on our way.
Sweet gravity hammer.
The big hammer is fun.
He's falling back to cover. The demon, over there.
Whoop.
Ooh, hornets. Oh, there you are.
ETA damn quick. Stand by for pickup.
And why couldn't you pick us up from the upper level?
I don't. Game too short.
Commander.
Johnson, look sharp.
I got it.
No, don't shoot. They mean us no harm. Those units have a priority task.
Oh, yeah? And what might that be?
I really can't say. Not for sure. But if you allow me to find a terminal closer to home.
We must keep the Prophet there on my own sides.
But what about your construct? Your solution to the flood? With more data,
Barbara's right. We have priorities too. Until we kill Truth, stop the rings from fire.
Nice model.
Nothing else matters.
Rah, rah. I watched Civ 11 too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We hit these 3 generators, and the barrier will fall.
a small section.
Trident. What happened to Bident? Or Quadrant?
Hmm.
Good enough. Johnson, drop the
Quadrant.
to the first generator, then head to the third. The elites will punch
A
right
bident
down
is a thing,
Roger that.
Charlie,
Quadrant's
but a
just
monodent.
a quadrant's just a pitchfork, and a monodent is just a spear.
I was gonna say.
Mayday! I can't control her!
Pelican down! Pelican down!
Brace yourselves, we're going in a little hot!
Oh, I miss Foehammer. What? Oh, they took my loadout.
Commander, this is Kilo 2-3. Lost my wingman and are totally hog. Over.
Roger that, Focus. Get out of there.
Beep.
Beep boop. I'll take out that turret. Turret's neutralized.
That was a lot of people dying.
That was funny.
That's a lot of people dying at once. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll get the Wraith.
Beachhead secure, Commander. Hostile anti-air has been neutralized.
Hold position. I'm on my way. Shipmaster, begin diversionary bombardment.
I will beat the Prophet's shield like a drum. By the time the barrier falls, he will beg for mercy.
Glad to see you, Arbiter.
Spark believes Truth can activate the rings at any time. If he does, Earth, every being in the galaxy, Halo will kill them all. Get to the first tower. Shut it down.
Yes, we understand the narrative stakes.
Yes.
Turret depression.
Ah, I know, right? Losing fucking turret Zoloft.
I have medication resistant turret depression.
Touchdown at number 2.
Oh, things are getting a bit jittery over here. In the frame rate zone.
Watch for heavy armor. Be careful.
Is that Marine using a shotgun?
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't seem the best weapon for the occasion, I agree.
It's not what I would use, but hey. Choppers.
Thing just won't die.
Oh, here's the...
Ah.
Alright, an area we're not supposed to take the Warthog into.
I don't think we're supposed to go this direction at all.
Well... Let's see. We came from this way. You know, there's a big loop up, so that's a jump. Is there something behind the trees I missed? No. It just goes this way. I think we're supposed to go into that door.
Alright, let's go back to the fucking door.
Yeah. Bonk.
Flip it over.
Ah, God.
Let's just walk there now.
Chief,
Yeah.
you've got to offline that tower.
I'm gonna offline the online. Got it.
Perimeter secure. Get inside that tower. Stick together. Check your corners.
Split apart, ignore everything.
Fuck you, Jackal. I'm gonna laser the shit out of that grunt. Huh. You survived. Ah, whatever. Oh, AI. The AI is very silly.
At times.
I can
yes.
use suppressing fire to get them to stay next to a grenade. I'm not sure that's the optimal combat strategy, fellas.
That was just disappointing.
Oh, come on. Where is it? I want my carbine
Now we
back.
get some real firepower. A Spartan.
I think I stole it.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Oh, wait, here's one. Nice throw. Thank you, Marine. That wasn't a nice throw. Ignore that one, Marine.
Alright, smart laser is
Let's go ahead
done.
and get him. What, he dig a hole or something?
He's not here.
They're starting to collapse.
Great kill, sir.
I love it.
I like their methane tanks leak. It's sad and funny,
They
just
seem,
like the grunts are.
they seem like a very poor choice for military units, for a variety
Yeah.
of reasons. They'd really be much better off used in a support role.
I think the idea is the grunts are generally not like especially intelligent, and they're not especially good with military shit. So I guess you just like have them be farmers. No. I'm back.
Yep.
Chief, find the tower controls and shut it down.
I wonder if it's this.
Good work, Chief. That's one. The elite should be just about to... That's two. It's all up to Johnson's
Why did
team
we put
now.
the shield generator outside
Get
of the
back
shield?
outside, Chief. Wait for transport. Johnson, come in. Over.
Seems like a little bit of a technical oversight.
We're pinned down.
I'm on
Very
my
little
way.
about this universe makes any sense if you actually think about it.
Everyone fall back.
Sergeant Major! Johnson, can you hear me? Chief, you need to link up with the elites and proceed directly to the third tower. Make your way back to the beach.
Like, I was reading about how their faster than light system is supposed to work, and it's just silly.
How is it supposed to work?
Like, okay, so there's slip space and all that, blah blah blah, but like there's some kind of thing where like it reconciles issues in time dilation, and if you have too many people traveling at once or too much travel all at one time, then it like fucks up travel and communication for like the whole galaxy.
What?
And yeah, right, and it has to do with like the precursors and the fucking flood and where they came. It's all dumb. I don't like it.
Get in, sir.
Car.
None of that
The
makes
car
any
doesn't
sense.
have a turret. Yeah, none of it makes any sense.
I'll get on the party hog.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. This way.
Oh wait, there's some ammo and shit over here. Any of it do I want? Yes, I want this. And that's fine.
I see an assault rifle. It's fine, I don't care.
The party hog is kind of stupid from a doctrinal perspective.
Yeah.
It's an APC that can transport 4 people.
Without any armor.
Yeah. It
has no offensive
it's not an
capabilities.
APC, it's a PC.
It's a truck.
It's a truck. It's a truck that can transport 4 fucking passengers.
You could fit more people in the back of a pickup. At least you could. The modern day pickups, which are just cars with sad little beds attached
I mean,
to them.
admittedly, I think these Marines are sitting in an inefficient manner so as to be, you know, more agreeable to shooting at stuff. But,
Hornet. Hornet, Hornet, Hornet,
Sir,
Hornet,
got a
Hornet.
flight of birds that need an escort. Take the Hornet, get those pelicans safely to the
I'll
third
take the
tower.
other Hornet.
Shotgun, let's go for a ride. Let me drive.
The Marines can sit on the Hornet, can't they? Yes. So. Alright, how do I do this?
Alright,
How do I fly up?
How do-
A, okay. There we go.
I think it's jump and crouch, whatever that is.
Got it. If you want it done right, yeah. Yeah, why would we send decorated war veteran Avery Johnson to do something and expect it to work? Oh, my Marines are good. They're still good. Good. Fuck the brutes.
Hornet is so much better than the Banshee.
I was just gonna say, the only thing it doesn't have is like a missile pod, but it's just otherwise so much better. It hovers, for one thing.
I guess it's technically less maneuverable, but the Banshee's so fucking slow anyway, you know.
Yeah. Fuck you, Phantom. Fuck you, Phantom.
Objective in sight, Commander. No sign of Johnson or his team.
Understood.
This makes what?
Chief, clear an
At least the
LZ.
third or
Send
fourth
inside
time Johnson's team has gotten totally fucked.
Definitely once on, original Halo.
Definitely once on Halo 2.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is at least the third time. Anti-air Wraith.
The anti-air wraith is actually a better. That's also a better anti-ground wraith.
Yeah. Yeah, what if you have a close-in tank that only shoots in arcs?
Let's have a close-range artillery piece.
Yeah. Alright, A goes up. I can do this. Hold on. Oh, it does have a missile pod.
Yeah, I told you.
I was just pressing the wrong button. Alright, hold on. Crouch? Crouch?
Shit.
No?
I'm providing close air support.
I see that.
Extremely close air support.
Alright, boys, I'll get you down in a minute. Alright, I got it. It's left bumper.
They fall like leaves.
We're gonna land up here.
We hold the field of battle.
Shotgun. Oh, the shotgun is fun. Civi hasn't played Halo yet, has he?
No, I think it technically falls outside of his boomer shooter,
I guess that's
Purview.
true.
Hunters and buggers? Fucking. What will these level
I mean,
designers
honestly-
think of next?
Honestly, the buggers are worse.
Yeah.
Just because they're more annoying. Hunters are at least predictable. Alright, they're facing me. Shoot him in the back. Oh, your buddy's dead, idiot. Yeah, be sad in your own time.
These dogs are no match for us. Just kill her.
Gotcha.
This is not worthy of me.
What you doing?
Fucking around. Stop.
You finding out?
Where? Not yet. Where am I? Where am I going?
We're going up to this elevator. It's literally
Oh, I
the
see,
same as
I
the
see.
other fucking building. Go towards
I
me.
see it. I see it. I see your marker now. Like, I remember how fucking Forerunner architecture works. Like, there are no space OSHA. Thank you. I'm on fire and I'm dead now. I love the button for swap. I hate these fucking power-ups. Because it's like the button for swap power-up is the same as the button for pick up useful weapon. It's annoying. Oh.
They're invisible.
Hit the switch, Chief, and the barrier will fall.
I've already forgotten what this barrier is protecting.
Yeah.
Now, Prophet, your end has come.
Oh no.
By the gods, brace for impact!
Dumb.
Oh, you thought you'd get through the rest of this game without more flood.
No, I knew they were coming. Just dumb. Everything that happened in the last 10 seconds is just a contrived way to get the flood in here. Sorry.
I will just silently judge you.
You don't have to silently judge me. You can judge me to my face.
I think Halo 3 has too many grenade types.
What's your status?
I was just gonna say that.
Damage. Weapon system disabled.
Like, the incendiary grenades are kind of neat, but they don't really have their niche, and spike grenades are just not sufficiently distinct from plasma grenades to be really...
Yeah. They just stick to walls, I think, which plasma grenades don't do.
I mean, at that point, they should just completely replace them, right?
Yeah.
They're too similar to coexist, is my point.
Hold your fire! Shooting! Hold your fire!
Did you do that?
I did. I don't actually know what most of these things do. Hate the fucking flood. So annoying. Narratively uninteresting.
Where'd our rides go?
I definitely parked it up there.
Yeah. Bastard stealing our rides. Anyway,
Yo, Chief!
Fuck off. Fuck off.
come on over here. There's a warthog. Ooh, there's a scorpion. I'm taking it.
Shipmaster's carrier is out
Fair
of
enough.
mission, Chief. I need you to take down Truth. The flood's just going to put pressure on him and accelerate his plans.
You drive the
Punch
warthog.
through the cliffs. Get inside that citadel.
No room for you, Marine. Have fun time.
Well, you can stay back here with the zombies. Oh, look, a snow level.
Well, snow section. Why did the rings have to have, like, Earth-like surfaces in order to function?
They're supposed to also be, like, research facilities for the flood. Which is stupid, because the flood wouldn't be here if they hadn't stored them.
Look at him wading through those bad guys.
400s are dumb. And I hate the flood.
Citadel in sight. Troops are mobilizing everything they've got.
Oh, God.
It's the emotionally charged music.
It is. That means we're supposed to be, you know...
Odd.
Yeah, odd. Odd is a good word. Like, I'm not especially odd right now. I'm mostly annoyed.
Did you
Wait.
die?
Love that fucking music, though. I found a fuel rod cannon and I'm feeling a little bit happier. Wraith. Oh god, no! We could have survived that.
Hornets inbound.
Give me a hornet. God damn it, why can't I run faster? Why does the tank drive faster than I run?
I mean, that's realistic.
I know. It's annoying.
Want me to get in a Hornet or stay in the tank?
Oh, if I were you, I'd stay in the tank. I'm only getting in a hornet because the fucking Warhog is useless here.
Yeah. Fly.
I count 2 scarabs. Repeat, 2 scarabs.
It's amazing how my much smaller and presumably cheaper tank can just fuck up a scarab so easily.
First scarab's down. All units, concentrate your fire on number 2.
Okay, time to drive away very slowly.
Both scarabs down. Well done. Marines, kill the stragglers. Chief, Spark has found a way into the Citadel. He's waiting for you on the platform, Chief. Go.
Calamity! If only we had more time!
Time to take a vehicle where it's not meant to go.
And get immediately stopped. And
Aw.
please don't crush me.
The door didn't go all the way.
They gotta get stuff off somehow.
Fuel rod cannon's gone.
It asked, and I answered. For a moment of safety, I loosed damnation on the stars.
Well, that's real
Whatever.
poetic about being a fuck up.
I know.
Stand firm. There are
Also, your
enemies
character arc is dumb.
around us. We tread the blessed path. In a moment I will light the rings, and all who believe shall be saved.
Chief, how close are you?
Not close enough.
That the best you got? Stop! You imbecile! He wants you to kill him. I'd prefer that you did not. What's the matter, big shot? Can't start your own party? I admit, I need your help. That secret dies with all the rest.
I don't really understand what the Prophet of Truth is doing here. Because I'm pretty sure he knows what the rings actually do.
Why did you come here personally?
Not
There's
without
people you have jobs for this.
You delay the inevitable. One of you will light the rings. You cannot hope to kill them all.
You're right.
Do it. Me. Then you. Now. No!
Dumb.
Your
You just had to
forefathers
Captain Kirk it.
wisely set aside their compassion, steeled themselves for what needed to be done.
Yeah, see, humans were obviously supposed to be the forerunners here.
Yeah, I mean that's very clear from the actual text of the story.
You were weak. And gods must be strong.
But what's Truth's plan here? Like, kill everybody in the Milky Way galaxy. And then what?
Yeah.
Him and a couple of ships go back.
I mean, he might think that they're somehow accepted from the kill everyone part of all of this.
I guess.
Which, isn't necessarily completely unrealistic. There are some groups of, right-wing evangelical Christians in America that really want a global atomic war, so they could hide in bunkers and repopulate the world afterwards.
Cool.
Do not shoot, but listen.
Of course, it's dumb for various
Let me
reasons,
lead you safely.
on top of being monstrous.
Only you can halt what he has set in motion.
Oh, now we gotta work with the flood. Isn't that fucking poetic? Oh, there's a thing up there.
There's a thing up where?
Oh, on top of the... Oh, maybe they're on every ring. Up there.
Yeah, they're on every ring.
Oh! Somebody blew me up.
Heretic doing a final bitter curse. Clear evidence of
Come on, Flood.
treachery.
Worth it.
You die?
Yeah.
Well, whatever it was worth it, nobody saw because they only see my perspective.
I saw it. God damn.
I'm surprised you're alive.
Me too. Oh, I jumped off a bridge. Fucking goddamn no space, OSHA. I'm tired of it. Give me the bridge shot. Oh.
So far are we along the path that I must strain to hear the clumsy patter of their pursuit. Know this, my brothers. They may foul the way with their charred and broken bones, but They will not stop the journey.
So why haven't the rings gone off in the last 2 minutes?
I mean, they need time to warm up, I suppose.
I guess.
I mean, if I were the Forerunners, I wouldn't make them terribly easy to turn on in the first place.
Yeah, push a big button.
See, Arbiter. The moment of salvation.
You know, probably a number of passcodes, some keys,
Kind. Never believe.
multiple inputs simultaneously to make sure it's not some rogue asshole.
Lies.
Yeah.
Beacons for the deluded. I will have my revenge. On a prophet, not a plague. My feet tread the path. I shall become a god. You will be food. Nothing more. No!
On the other hand, push the button again turns itself off. That's nice.
I am truth. The voice of the covenant. So, you must be silenced.
Was revenge worth it? Yeah, it was totally rad. Do it again.
Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. What was it Shadow says? It's like, that's stupid. I'm gonna kill way more people than that.
At least we don't have to fight back through... Oh, maybe I'm speaking through... Did we fight back through this level?
I don't remember.
Pushed aside. Corpses shifted off.
The game's not long enough. The game's not long enough.
I told you, game too short. That's the motto of this game. We were super excited for Halo 3 when it came out, and it's like, turns out it's just padding.
I can barely keep hold of it, Chief. No way I can pick you up.
Oh,
Head back
no
to the
way?
left.
Oh, fucking...
Find a way down.
Fucking seriously, bro?
Yeah. Walk back through the level we already designed and spent all this money on.
We spent a lot of money on this fucking hallway, and you're gonna enjoy it.
That's right. Ah.
Well, you need to be a bit more cautious in these flood levels because there's a ton of enemies, so getting to a place that's safe is really hard.
Yeah. And they come in behind you. It's just an arm over there. Oop. Shotgun's a little bit less lethal to me. Oh, tagged him. Ah.
At least it can't animate your body.
I guess not. Where? There it is.
Not right now, Cortana. I'm busy.
Yeah.
What I steal.
As opposed to other thieves that give it back? What does that mean? You can't just be enigmatic as a personality trait, Cortana.
I mean, plenty of Redditors have tried. We're not taking the elevator. We're taking the chute.
Oh, yeah. This shoot. Nice superhero landing.
I mean, this was before that was standard.
I know. Nice Blade Runner reference.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Ark's pooping out another Halo.
I don't understand why this is unfinished and it's coming out of the Ark now.
Maybe it has something to do with turning it on and off again?
It's like a printer.
Yeah.
Replacement. The ring you destroyed.
When did you know?
Like 5 seconds ago?
But I had my hopes. What will you do?
Light it.
Then we are agreed. A tactical post will completely eradicate the local infestation. I will personally oversee the final preparations, though it will take time to fabricate.
How will a pulse of the halos do that, other than blowing up the halo, which is what it does? Because, as we know, it's not designed to destroy the flood, it's designed to kill sentient life.
Well, it might strand the flood here, so they can get away.
I'd buy that, I guess. Flying into a painting, huh?
You know, kill everyone that's here to save the rest of the galaxy. Which actually seems like a plausible idea, so long as the Flood don't have access to a hyperdrive, or a jump drive, or however the fuck it works. Anyway, we're going
Slip
to
space drive.
Yeah, slip space. We're going into a butthole level.
Yeah, fucking butthole level.
Fall back to the dawn.
I know there's like one game that's came out some years ago that's basically entirely a butthole level.
Prey?
No, it's like everything is made of flesh and bones and shit. I forget the name of it. It's really gross.
Do you mean the original Prey?
No, not the original Prey either. It's something else,
Oh.
I'm telling you.
That was a really good game, though, the original Prey.
Oh, great fucking objective, guys. Find Cortana. Dies immediately.
I'm just used to these guys being, you know, not super dangerous little buggers.
They're not dangerous if there's like 1 or 2 of them, but with like 5 or more, yeah, they'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Fucking butthole levels. I mean, look.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Straight up butthole.
It's gross.
You can't even tell me. Just fucking...
God, I hate the Flood. I hate the Flood in every way. They're not good.
Child of my enemy, why
Oh, you don't get to
have
get
you
in this
come?
Cortana bit,
I
man.
offer no forgiveness. A father's sins cast to his son.
Yeah, that's profound nonsense. Who cares what you think?
Yeah, right.
I mean, they even added some variety to the fucking Flood types, and I still don't care.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. There we go. I'm sort of behind you. Die. Got a flamethrower.
Cool.
Don't blow me up, dude.
God damn it.
Blow yourself up?
No. I gotta stare at this butthole. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
You dickwad.
No, I shot before you spawned even.
I know. Where's my rocket launcher? I want my rocket launcher.
There's your shotgun. Here's the rocket launcher.
Alright, that's better.
Flamethrower is so bitchin'.
Yeah.
And it's, you know,
You
very...
kind of need a flame...
Go ahead.
I say you kind of need a flamethrower against the little ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A big butthole door.
Of course, you came for her. We exist together now. Two corpses in one grave.
You're not even dead, though.
Yeah, right?
You're very much alive.
Too alive. Like buttholey.
And yet, perhaps a part of her remains.
Yeah, Cortana, you're going through your whole villain arc thing.
Yeah, something rampancy. Who cares? Dumb idea.
I mean, rampancy is a neat idea for explaining why AI doesn't take control of everything all the time, because, you know, it just goes insane.
Although, welcome to Cortana's arc in Halo 5 and afterwards.
But, yeah, it doesn't work that well.
Like, also, she enters the fucking Forerunner space library thing, which was supposed to be destroyed with the Halo's fire, but whatever. And she, like, gets cured of her rampancy, and then she becomes evil, and it's just... Ugh. I don't care. Alright, down the butthole hole.
Gotta give him a light spritz with the flamethrower.
Yep.
Well, the little buggers got me. Alright, I'm back.
I see. One for you.
I'm good with that loadout. Got the flamethrower back.
I'm out of ammo.
You can go check out over, you know, all over the place. There's ammo.
There was a sword around here. I don't like the sword. Wait.
Can I speak with
I
you,
might as well
please?
just get it.
What's your name?
John Halo.
John Halo. It kind of is John Halo.
You like games. So do I.
Flip the coin.
You ready?
Oh yeah, do it.
It was the coin's fault. I wanted to make you strong, keep you safe. I'm sorry, I can't.
God damn it. I don't want to be stuck in the fucking terrain. Stop it. God damn it.
We go over here. Good throw.
Yep.
You're too far away from me. Alright. Out of the flamethrower. It was good while it lasted.
Hate the flood, I hate the flood, I hate the flood, I hate the flood.
I now know why I don't remember this level basically at all.
Yeah. It's like, what if we made the library a butthole? That's this fucking... Is it the library?
Yeah.
The really shitty level in Halo 1? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the library. That's the library.
Time has taught me patience, but basking in new freedom. I will know all that I possess!
I don't think that sentence means anything.
Yeah, it doesn't... Okay.
That's actually good use of that shield.
I know. I was like, okay, this is a good checkpoint for it. Oh, shit.
I hate giant buttholes.
God, I know. Oh, I'm out of ammo. I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. It was just weird for a second there. Alright, I need some better weapons.
These wall crawlers are so fucking annoying.
Yeah, what if you made the flood worse? This whole fucking game. What? Did somebody just go, yay?
I didn't hear anything.
Maybe it was a scream that just was distant. Ah, shit. I think we found the niche for the flame grenade.
Yeah. I still think that there's a bit too much overlap.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm out of ammo. This is a really pain-in-the-ass room. Oh, God. All right.
Okay, I think I found our butthole out of here.
Alright, hold on, I'll be there in a second. Oh, there's you. Oh, you gotta go. Okay. I'm way at the bottom. I'm coming.
After killing everyone twice.
Yeah. Oop, brute shot. Give me brute shot ammo.
This is one crusty butthole.
I can't wait to see it. Oh, I see it. Here I am.
There's a jump here, so...
Don't fall down the fucking jump again.
Here we go.
Bubble shield. Alright.
I have walked the edge of the abyss. I have seen your future, and I have learned.
Learned what?
Submit! End her torment and my own!
Well, that's a vague
Okay.
statement.
So Cortana is obstructing the grave mine by being a giant pain in his ass for once.
Women, am I right? Even when they're virtual girlfriends, right? They're just still...
Bubble shield.
I'll go get that
It'll...
one.
There's more back here.
This way.
There will be no more sadness, no more anger, no more envy.
Will show me what she hides, or I shall feast upon your gold.
I mean, she's mostly ones and zeros, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I think I don't remember the flood appear after this game.
This is UNSC AI serial number CTN0452-9. I am a monument to all your sins.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. None of this shit makes any sense.
I mean, debatably, Master Chief represents a monument to the sins, given, you know, how fucked his life is. Anyway, let's breach the stasis deal.
Anyway, I don't remember if they have the flood after this, but the enemy that kind of replaces him as the third enemy is just even worse.
Oh yeah, those guys are fucking terrible.
From 4 and I guess onward, they're just horrible. I didn't even finish that game.
So much of me is wrong. Out of place. You might be too late.
You know me. When I make a promise.
I usually forget about it.
I do know how to pick 'em.
Lucky me. Do you still have it?
The activation index from the first Halo ring. A little souvenir I hung on to, just in case.
It was a physical thing, but isn't a physical thing? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Thought I'd try shooting my way out. Mix things up a little.
Just keep your head down. There's 2 of us in here now, remember?
Also, like, canonically, what the fuck is the Arbiter doing with all of this shit? Like, watching fucking John Halo over here lose his goddamn mind. And...
Chief, get me out of
I
this.
assume he's in the radio
I don't wanna
network.
say.
And I mean, there's 2 of us in here now. That producer's from the first Halo, so like going backwards and forwards through the same level is pretty Halo. It's from the very first one.
Her secret is revealed.
I feel like they had more of an excuse though.
Yeah,
It's the first game. It's really taxing the hardware. They don't know what they're doing.
yeah. I mean, Halo started as an RTS, and now it's an FPS, and, you know, what's that doing? So I get it,
Buy
but...
some time. This reactor, start a chain reaction. Destroy High Charity.
Never mind. Oh, I did go over.
You heard it, Chief. We need to get to Finnish. Destroy the
What am I doing? I don't have any fucking ammo.
Cortana now would actually be a great time for one of your waypoint thingies.
I know, right?
Whoop!
That was some lag. Oh yeah, the brute pistol shotgun. What's this fucking thing called? The brute pistol shotgun?
Mauler.
The Mauler. It's so dumb.
Yeah, let's go this way then, since it's the only other door. It's currently open.
An explosion just made us an exit. I'll mark it in your hut. Get moving.
God damn it! Stop getting stuck in the terrain.
Oh, that way. Yeah, I have to kill enough enemies for them to...
Yeah. Cortana, remember her to do her damn job. At least we don't have to go back through the entire butthole.
This way?
I think so.
Analyzing the route ahead. Have it mostly figured out. Just keep going.
What the
I'll
fuck
update
Maybe,
your HUD as quickly as I
maybe
can.
not.
No, that's a dead end.
I get. Looks like okay. I don't know where anything is in this goddamn place. Oh, okay. There's a marker. Not this way. That way. The terrain. God damn it. Here?
Let's go through the butthole.
Always go through the butthole. Ew.
I got an SMG.
Cool. Those are useful against the little guys. I just saw a fuckload of red shit appear in my HUD. Thanks, Booty Cam.
Some Final Fantasy X vibes from that shot. Just tended to focus on people's asses for no particular reason.
It's a well-made game that people enjoyed.
Is it though?
Is Final Fantasy X a well-made game? I don't know.
I think it's kind of a nonsensical story.
It's very weird. I played it to get to the point where Tidus and Yuna are in the water crying.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I just kind of, I'll play it, but I don't really care.
Humans and elites, will you not come with us, brother? No. This is our fight, and I will see it finished.
See? The line from the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost the line from the thing.
Johnson, do you have the frigate?
Yes, ma'am. I'll land her as close to the control room as I can.
Safe is better than close, Sergeant Major.
Final scene was
Roger that. Ma'am. It's good to have you back here.
the fucking series, and, you know, Private comes in. It's like, hello, or should I say, Halo? Finger guns, cut the credits.
We lost $40 million. I knew I didn't want to watch the Halo live-action TV series.
Why did we crash the fucking Pelican?
I don't know.
Why does it always have
know.
to crash? It's like a Black Hawk, man. It's just...
I'm not exactly sure what will happen when we fire.
An uncrashed Black Hawk is like, I don't know, it's just incomplete. Anyway, the Halo TV show?
Yeah, when I learned that they have Master Chief walk around.
Oh, there's a bunch of
with his helmet
shotguns
on.
and shit over here.
Oh, fuck yes. Always turn around. There's always cool shit if you turn around.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get I hate that song.
Yeah, but we got something wrong with our brains, so we gotta remember every fucking music line that's vaguely relevant to whatever the fuck we're doing at the moment.
I learned that Mike from Penny Arcade does that. He just says music lines to relevant shit, and now I started doing it. I'm like, fuck, it's a virus. What's the weather like, Ollie? It's cold! Yeah, that string section sure is holding that bass note.
I was very disappointed to find out that double bass isn't just two basses strapped together.
No, it's a really big
Where are you
bass.
going?
I think that's just the wrong way, but...
I want to know what's up here.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, fuck that. I don't want to do that.
See, oh, this is like one of the rooms from the game. The ones.
The what?
Halo 1. It's like one of the rooms from the Halo 1 level.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, you're right. Now I see it.
I think this is the wrong way, so...
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh, it's a thing. It's for a secret for the lore that nobody fucking cares about.
Yeah, it's even got the fucking arrow on the ground.
Yeah, the arrow on the ground. Tell you where to go.
I think this is a death. Okay.
I died. I couldn't stop it. And my shotgun's gone, and I'm sad. Oh well.
We're not going back for it.
No. Where would you pick it up again?
Forward unto dawn.
I learned where that's from. Forward unto dawn.
Oh, where is it from?
It's from an in-universe poem. I didn't like it very much as a poem. Oh, there you go.
In the Halo universe?
Yeah, in the Halo universe.
I just thought it was a neat saying.
Flood dispersal
Having it
pods.
be in an universe.
Control rooms at
I
the
mean,
top of that
if they
tower.
want it to be a
Go.
literary reference to something, they can just make it a literary reference to something. No.
I mean, like Cortana.
Yeah.
Bang.
Battle rifle's surprisingly good against the Flood.
Oh yeah, battle rifle's great.
Found a fuel rod
There should
cannon.
be ramps that lead to the top. Check the other side.
Battle rocket launcher. God, I love the rocket launcher.
How did he survive that one? I also found a rocket launcher.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have that rocket launcher if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sentinels. Flamethrower.
Nothing cool over here.
Why do I keep getting the flamethrower?
I don't know.
There's too many guys. And I died. And I respawned.
That's nice.
I got the flamethrower, and I'm back on the warpath. I did kill a bunch of them, though. That was nice.
Good shot. Oh, God damn it.
I died. And I'm back.
Whoa.
And I lost the flamethrower, so.
I got you covered, Chief.
That's
Meet
the
you
end
at
of
the
that.
top of that tower.
Oh wait, found the flamethrower. What you oohing at anyway?
Sergeant Johnson with the Spartan laser.
On my way with the flamethrower. On my way with the burning.
You moving, Chief? I got your back. Blood are crawling all over that tower. Watch yourself.
There you are, Hope Bearer.
Alright. Hold on. There. Cat? No.
Spark, you in there? Open the damn door.
Of course, Ringleader. Just as soon as you dispose of our proximate footprints. I'm afraid contamination protocols do not allow for...
Yeah, I hear you.
We're gonna kill everyone anyway, who cares?
Was that the monitor? You didn't tell me he was here.
Oh, the monitor didn't tell you something? Who would have
Well,
guessed?
we are finally doing what he wanted.
Fleets of thousands! Consume the galaxy of flesh and mind and bone!
Johnson joined us, which means the section is over.
Yeah.
Open up.
Hello,
Coast is
Avery.
clear.
Not for long. I'm tracking additional dispersal pods. They'll be hitting any minute.
Chief, Arbiter, let's move.
Oh, Johnson, you're my favorite character.
Do I take life or give it? Who is victim and who is foe?
Take
trying to
it
rebuild
and you're a
itself
foe.
on
I
this
think that's
ring.
pretty clear.
Hurry.
Yeah.
Control room's close.
Hello, secret loading screen. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Forerunner architecture doesn't make any sense. Unless you know what a loading screen is.
Yank me, Chief.
Feels very forward to take our time.
I'm not
I know.
gonna lose her too.
Oh, hello. Wonderful news. The installation is almost complete.
Terrific.
Yes, isn't it? I have begun my simulations. No promises, but initial results indicate this facility should be ready to fire in just a few more days.
We don't have a few more days.
But a premature firing will destroy the Ark.
Deal with it.
Will destroy this installation. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Protocol dictates action.
Damn
I
your
see no
sudden yet
mentality
inevitable
you was
betrayal.
wrong.
Yeah, I know.
You are the child of my makers, inheritor of all they left behind. You are Forerunner.
See,
But
they
this
literally.
ring is
It's
mine.
literally
Yeah.
the text of the story. How can you.
Yeah.
I take no pleasure in doing what must be done. You do not deserve this ring. I can have it safe. It belongs to me.
Not for long.
Thank you.
Kick his ass.
Your inheritance.
Dead.
Fuck that thing. Spark is a dick.
I'm getting you out of here.
No, you're not. No, don't let her go. Don't ever let her go. Send me out with a bang.
Chief, I'm so sorry.
Johnson's body just slides.
Make sure I
Did he
go
have
out
to
with
be in the shot?
dignity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did he have...
Woohoo!
Fucking goofy laugh. Did he have to be in the shot? Fucking Bungie, did he have to? My last scene of my favorite character and he's just sliding off into nothing, it's just, ugh.
How the hell do we get up there again? Oh,
I
we
don't
go up over
remember.
here. You went the wrong way.
I went the wrong way.
You went the wrong way entirely. Look at you. Such a goofy goober.
Find the
I am a
doorway
goofy
in the
goober.
cliffs, Chief. The
I
dawn
can't
is
get
on
up
the
over
other
this
side.
way. Fuck it, I was gonna kill myself.
Oh, forgot the, Well, never mind that run.
Oh, did you die?
Yeah. I forgot the Sentinels are hostile.
Oh.
Now, don't go the totally wrong direction this time.
Okay.
There are some weapons laid around here, so, I'm gonna pick some of that up. We go up that way, but,
Where is that good weapon? Come here.
And, okay. That's plenty of ammo for the shotgun. Anyway, Sentinel. Alright, I'm ready to go.
Find the doorway in the cliffs, Chief. The dawn is on the other side.
What? What the hell am I...
I know what you're talking about, man.
You see the ostrich thing, don't you?
No.
Just staring at the thing that I didn't actually indicate.
I mean, what is the funniest possible response?
You're not wrong.
See that doorway further on? Get to it.
You good?
Oh, damn. I'm good. I'm out of ammo on my shotgun.
There's some sentinel lasers over here. Those will probably be pretty useful. Or use a double plasma rifle, whatever.
I like double plasma rifle.
Whatever floats your boat.
Don't let this ring be the end of us, Chief.
I mean, it kinda is. This is the last time we see Master Chief ever, because there's no more Halo properties made after this.
Yeah, I mean, they really could have made another game, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe a few more games.
Maybe an open world one, too.
Oh, God, that would be cool.
There, Johnson's Warthog.
I can't tell if you're being legitimate with that one or not.
I mean, look, anything would have been more interesting than what we got.
Come on, Spartan.
I mean,
go,
Halo
go,
Infinity,
go.
I think, is technically an open world game.
Is it? I didn't play it.
Yeah, it is. But it's not in the Master Chief collection, so we don't care.
I didn't finish 4. Or 5? There was a 5, right?
I think there was a 5. We didn't have time to finish the level geometry.
That's literally canonically correct. Alright, don't drive off a cliff. It's the Maw.
We gotta go that way.
Alright, going this way. Yeah, see? It's the Maw. God, shit. Alright, I'm gonna stay on the center line. I don't remember if that's a good idea or not, but I'm gonna do it.
Left or right, your choice. Oh, we gotta go up one of these ramps.
Yep.
Woo! At least someone was kind enough to put a Warthog at every checkpoint.
I know, right?
What a thoughtful bunch.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, it's one of those,
Just follow the red angry road. Ah, now this is a cool use of the Halo music. See, look what you can do with panelized construction.
Charging sequence at 30%.
Oh, God. Oh, that was dramatic and awesome. Oh, shit, where do I go?
To the right. Over here. Nope. Nope. Further to the right.
I tried. I can't see shit, and my game lagged. Oh, back here. Oh, okay. Oh, then up there and to the right. Okay, I see it.
30%.
Shit! Oh, that wasn't me! Sort of anticlimactic.
Yeah. When you keep driving off the edge, yes.
That one wasn't me. It wasn't. We got exploded by a something.
Sure it was.
I have my left thumb all the way forward. Why are these metal panels exploding?
They're full of explodium. That's what makes them so useful.
30%.
Go that way, and then we turn. This way. And that way.
Alright, big jump time.
And then the angry line.
Come on, Puma. Come on, Puma.
50%, Chief.
God, they knew that the Warthog looks awesome when it's fishtailing, and just gave it a lot of fishtailing to do. What? That's bullshit, come on! That wasn't me.
50%, Chief.
Try going around the left over there.
Don't fall out from underneath me. Don't. Alright, left side. Shh. Alright, center. Ah, god damn it. There's the dawn.
Go right.
Yep. Gosh! God damn it. Like, shit. Alright, do this part again.
50%, Chief.
Left around the pillar.
Yep.
And we're gonna go center down the line.
Okay.
I'll go to the right.
80% charged.
Yep. And we're gonna hug this left closely.
Yep.
Firing sequence initiated.
That way.
Yep, I see her. There we go.
Jump! Floor it right into the hangar.
Hell yeah.
Hang on. Chief! We don't make it.
We'll make it.
Hmm.
It's been an honor serving with you, John.
For us, the storm has passed. The war is over. But let us never forget those who journeyed into the howling dark and did not return. For their decision required courage beyond measure, sacrifice, and unshakable conviction that their fight, our fight, was elsewhere. As we start to rebuild, this hillside will remain barren, a memorial to heroes fallen. They ennobled all of us, and they shall not be forgotten.
Reset! Up!
I remember how this war started, what your kind did to mine. I can't forgive them. But you have my thanks for standing by him to the end. Hard to believe he's dead.
Were it so easy?
If not for the sequel bait.
Halo 4, the search for more money.
I mean, that's literally true.
Yeah. With a different studio.
Things look different without the Prophet's lies and I would like to see.
I mean, the problem is they tidied it up too good. Like,
yeah.
The Human Covenant War's over, the Flood's taken care of, the Halo rings are basically a non-thing now.
Take us home.
Yeah. I mean, as far as we know, the Ark is destroyed.
Yeah.
So there's no way to turn the rings on unless you go to the rings.
And finding a ring is incredibly difficult, apparently.
The Covenant were looking for them for millennia, I think, and never found one. Until they found the first Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Chief? Can you hear me? I thought I'd lost you too.
Then Nick Fury shows up and invites John Halo to the Avengers.
What happened?
I'm not sure. When Halo fired, it shook itself to pieces. Did a number on the Ark. The portal couldn't sustain itself. We made it through just as it collapsed. Well, some of us made it.
Well, good thing I got the side with the TV. Turns it on, flips a couple of channels. There's nothing on.
Yeah.
But you did it. Truth and the Covenant, the Flood. It's finished.
It's finished.
We finished the flight.
I'll drop a beacon, but it'll be a while before anyone finds us. Years, even. I'll miss you.
Wake me when you need me.
Catch me on the flip side. And, it goes back to the beginning where you got out of the cryotube and now you're in the cryotube and, it's like it's like poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah, it's like a big giant ring in space.
Yeah. Like some kind of big spiral.
And their future fate is left ambiguous.
We can't have that shit. We need lore. That's the connection.
Well, I mean, it just cut us to the.
Yeah, it just cut us to the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we finished the fight.
We did. There's one more Halo game left. Is that in the Master Chief Collection? Is Reach in the Master Chief Collection?
Oh yeah, it is. Want to get started on it? We're good for today.
I think we're good for today. Finishing the game is good, but I've never played Reach, so I would like to play it at some point.
All right. Any? Well, let's. Well, this is the end of the classic trilogy, so let's do.
Yeah.
Let's do final thoughts.
Yeah. Game Too Short is the name of this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of reused assets for the campaign. Admittedly, at this point, the focus had solidly shifted towards the multiplayer, which was generally quite good.
Oh, the Forge was amazing.
Yeah, the Forge was amazing. Like, why isn't that more common in games? Probably because they're too complicated now. But you know,
I guess
the Forge was a great feature. There's some bits about it about the mechanics changes that I don't really care for. There's too many different kinds of grenades.
Yeah, I don't like the armor upgrades, the bubble shield and things.
Yeah, the equipment's like they tried again in Reach, where it's a little better, but generally I don't think the equipment worked as a core part of the game. Like, it's neat, you can do it, but like its utility is very limited.
Yeah. The story, it's fine. Cortana is the story, and okay, like the first one, you had to figure out what the hell was going on and why this thing was here and what it was and what it did. That's fine. And in the second one, you're switching back and forth, and you've got the shakeup in the Covenant, and you've got the Arbiter, and that's kind of cool. And then this one, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, because the thing that everyone complained about, right, is at the end of Halo 2, right, it sets you up to start on High Charity.
It's on the Dreadnought, the big spiky thing. But yeah, or High Charity, one or the other of those.
Yeah. And it's like, no, you just yeet it to a random part of Africa.
Yeah, now you're just on Earth. And all that stuff takes I think the interstitial is a comic book.
Yeah. Now, like, I understand why they didn't want to start on High Charity in a certain sense, right? Because it has to be agreeable to new players, and you have to fit a tutorial in there. And how do you fit a tutorial into High Charity exactly? But they just kind of punted it.
I remember playing Halo 2 for the first time and getting to the part where he's like, "Sir, finishing the fight," and then like, "Oh yeah, final climactic battle," because we've got this thing going on, and then the game's over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we needed that one extra level, and then that could bridge us to the beginning of Halo 3. Because, like, Halo 3 couldn't have started on the ship, because it would have been the end of the previous game as the beginning of the first game, or the third game. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I mean, we didn't do any of them, but all those glowing lore points... this is kind of where the lore starts to go off the rails.
Yeah, like in the previous two games, right? It's illusions, vagaries, right, whatnot. Where it's fine because it's just sort of in the background. Like, oh yeah, I got that reference. It's cool.
Right.
But hey, here's a lore log.
Yeah, exactly. They were doing log dumps, and I don't know. I've never really liked when they did that. Like, it kind of worked in BioShock, mostly because it kind of papered over some of the more boring explory bits.
Mm-hmm.
But I never like them. Lore dumps are sort of silly.
Like they typically just don't. Right? I mean, it's the problem of lore versus story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Lore is good for the content mills, but it isn't really that good for the actual experience of the media.
No. And it's not fun for the audience either. Like, the audience desperately wants to know lore, but you never give it to them, because then there's no more fun to be had.
Yeah, that's what the FromSoft knows. It's like, oh, we're going to create this item with this vague description that implies a lot of stuff, but we're not going to tell you.
Right. Exactly.
I think this is also part of, like, the point in video game development where that pivot towards lore really sort of starts.
Well, Demon Souls was right around this time, wasn't it? Maybe a little bit later.
Yeah. It was definitely this generation of consoles. It was on the PS3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Damon brought up in the Paranoia game last night of, Halo, American Imperialism Simulator, which, like, there's parts of, but it really isn't nearly as bad as some of its contemporaries, right?
Oh God, no.
Right. So you look at like compare any of the Halo games to like any of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare games, and it's like, yeah, like Halo inherits some like questionable stuff, right? Oh, the Spartans, and humans are all alike, and uniform, and it's like the 300 or whatever, and of course everyone in the story of the 300 also sort of forgets the 1,000 Athenians and the whole bunch of helots that also helped,
right?
And it's like, oh, and then these aliens are all like super diverse and whatnot in a way that the humans aren't, and et cetera, right? There's definitely some of that there, right? But it's and of course Starship Troopers, which is clearly a huge influence in the inheritance of that. But there's a lot of stuff that could have been in there that really just isn't, right? Like alien terrorism, for example.
Right. Yeah, I mean, some of it is,
and also how the Covenant as like alien species are very clearly portrayed as not inherently evil, right? They are contingently evil upon their loyalty to the prophets, as opposed to the Flood, whose existence is just anathema to all intelligent life.
Yeah, and to get into some of the good lore for the stuff that came out while Bungie was still writing stuff, the prophets started off sort of zealots like everyone else, and then they learned at some point basically that the people they were fighting against are the actual inheritors of the Forerunners legacy, and then they realized that if they told anybody, they would immediately lose all of their power base, and basically destroy the Covenant, and they couldn't allow that to happen. So there's shades of that too. But yeah, some of what Halo has that is, if you want to call it problematic, is just, I mean, like the ODST are clearly inspired by the Starship Troopers drop pods and things like that, and the armor and stuff like that, which is mostly aesthetic in this case. A lot of it is just inherent. This is just how games are made in the early 2000s, shooter FPS games. And yeah, compared to your COD Modern Warfares, this is nothing.
Yeah, this, like, nobody has anything on No Russian, right? Like,
yeah, which nobody talks about anymore. I was thinking about it the other day, but nobody talks about it. It was this massive controversy at the time.
I mean, I think part of it is that, especially with the end of both the Iraq and Afghan wars, that the American sort of cultural consciousness is just kind of burnt out on the whole Islamic terrorism thing.
Yeah. Well, we're also, I mean, you look at the current international political, warfare thing. We don't like any of that shit. Like, yeah, there's people in favor and people against of all the stuff, but mostly we're just tired. We did it for 20 years.
Yeah, the U.S. has pretty thoroughly burned the public's willingness to go along with wars.
Yeah, especially
in the Middle East.
Yeah, especially in the Middle East, but especially because you look at like Vietnam in the 60s, and nobody liked that, right? That was, major protests, blah, blah, blah. But at least there was, like, positive domestic shit going on, like the civil rights movement, and there was still, passenger rails somewhere in the United States that mattered, and, unions were still a thing, basically. So there was something there, but it's hard to be like, we're going to spend billions of dollars on these foreign wars that, while our country is crumbling in many cases literally.
Yeah. Look,
and so it's even harder to do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, and the issues of we're willing to spend trillions of dollars on on two wars that turned out to be at best completely pointless.
Right.
That's the most generous interpretation of that.
Right.
And yet like passing an infrastructure bill to fix America's decaying body is just impossible.
I saw about 10 years ago, I saw an estimate about how much would it take to not build new infrastructure, just fix all of the existing infrastructure. And at the time, it was $3.5 trillion. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine it's any better now. But so what was it, $800 billion or something like that infrastructure bill was already not enough, and we didn't even get all of that.
Yeah, how much did we end up getting? Like 20 billion or something?
I'm not sure it's quite that low. It was like 150 billion, maybe. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing on top of already not enough.
Yeah, so it was like a tenth of what we really needed. At best. Yes.
Yeah, if you're generous.
So...
Anyway, point being, we're tired of this shit, and this game is old enough that it kind of was in the middle of that period where we kind of weren't tired of it.
Yeah, we weren't tired of it yet. I think this was before the housing bubble burst, right?
Oh, this is 2007? So yeah, right before.
Until we basically entered our permanent recession.
Yeah.
So, there are problematic aspects. Part of it's just how games were made at the time. Part of it is just the inheritance of military sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's really not nearly as bad as most of its contemporaries. It's also notable. No. It's also perhaps notable in the art direction, the fact that it's actually colorful and interesting to look at.
Oh yeah.
Which was not the case at many games at the time.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can go find footage of stuff online, but I don't know if people talk about just how fucking brown everything was in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
In video games.
That's because a lot of the games were built on the Unreal Engine, and at the time, the default palette set for the Unreal Engine just happened to have a lot of browns and grays, so everything just was fucking brown and gray for 10 years.
And then Bloom happened, and everything was fucking lit up with Bloom. And only relatively recently have we gotten any kind of consistently positive color palette in games.
Yeah.
Fortnite is candy coated and poppy compared to anything that was out in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
So.
I'm still surprised that no other first-person shooters have knocked off Halo's vehicle control mechanics, because it's one of the only shooters where vehicles and on-foot combatants interact decently with one another. That's a first-person shooter.
Yeah. I mean, really, we would talk about there's too many grenades and things like that, which I think the real problem is, I remember watching a documentary about how Bungie made the first game, and they talk about the core gameplay loop of, 15 seconds of run in, shoot, throw grenade, back up, repeat. And that stretched that out over a whole game. And, they fucked it up a little with some of these extra grenades and the equipment and things like that, but it's still basically solid. And I mean, I don't play modern shooter games, but I haven't seen one that quite has a good gameplay loop that tight. I don't even know if Destiny does.
I mean, Destiny kind of fucks itself with its RPG-esque mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, you end up getting bunches of spongy enemies, and, then you have the whole live service bullshit that's attached to it, and it's just, it's so fucking tiring.
Cyberpunk is the only sort of first-person sort of shooter that I've played relatively recently that's from a relatively modern era. Mm-hmm. If you turn off a bunch of stuff with mods, if you make them less spongy, and if you turn off the here's how much damage you did with a gun in what's supposed to be real life, then the gameplay loop is nice and tight, but again, you gotta mod it.
Mm-hmm.
Are there Halo mods? I kind of hope not.
There are. You can download mods on the Master Chief Collection. Like there's custom campaigns and all kinds of other junk.
Interesting. I might have to check it out.
So, what was also our favorite level of Halo 3?
Ooh, it's a good question. The funniest one was running back and forth between the landing bay and the control room.
Yeah, Crow's Nest.
Yeah, the Crow's Nest. That was funny. I don't know. Not Floodgate. The highway was pretty good. I kind of liked that. Where you got on the mongoose and you had to fight the scarab, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Savo Highway was probably the best.
Yeah.
The Storm was all right. Floodgates is flood and
fucking flood.
The Ark's pretty good. Covenant's mostly good until you get to the end with the flood. Cortana easily worst level of the game.
The driving around on the exploding Halo is cool.
Yeah.
It's I'm not a super great driver, and some of the bits in that are a little bit bullshit, but it's very dramatic and I liked it. So those are, I think, my two: the highway and the driving around on the exploding Halo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this introduced the Forge, which was, really good.
A really good, really useful and not complicated level editor.
And also introduced new game types like Griffball.
Oh yeah, Griffball. And people made there was one, was it Rat's Nest? I forget. That had it was a really good it had a big flat loop around the outside of it, so you could drive on it. And they would make racetracks and stuff on it.
Yeah, there's racing levels, and there's also zombies and all kinds of other junk.
Yeah.
Also made making machinima easier.
It did. I've been rewatching Red vs. Blue actually, and I'm just about to finish season 5. And after that, we're gonna it starts getting into Halo 3 a little bit later.
Oh, how are you finding Red vs. Blue? Revisiting it after so long.
I had forgotten how nonsensical the storyline became.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even gotten to the really dramatic parts yet. But it's still good. It's fun. I laughed. I can quote most of it from memory, which is, never good for humor, but still.
Yeah. Also, apparently, Ruby got, since Rooster Teeth has
been
gutted, Ruby got bought up by Viz Media.
At this point, I think only a reboot. Because the base idea of storybook-inspired characters with really cool, flashy fight scenes in a Monty Ohm, like Monty Ohm did, I think is solid. The first 2 seasons of Ruby are pretty solid. A lot of it is the storytelling through fighting. Monty Ohm was good at storytelling just through a fight scene. But then it just got too much. Pretty much immediately. Season 3 is fine. And after that, it's just nonsense.
My opinion is slightly different on Ruby. I think it always had problems, but it was easy to overlook them and hold out hope in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It has problems, but you can be like, maybe they'll address that later.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that just never happens.
Yeah. It's like the new Star Wars movies, was it Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Was the first of the that one was not great, but you'd be like, the next couple it could evolve into something good, and then just didn't.
Yeah,
and so the first one is bad because it didn't evolve into anything good. Well, that's kind of how Ruby is.
Well, I remember the cultural development of that, right? So the Force Awakens, everyone's it was kind of just a retread of the first one, but it was pretty good. It was fine. Look over the future. Then you had the second one, whose name I don't even remember.
Last Jedi.
Yeah, the Last Jedi, where that one was very controversial.
Because it fucking sucked. There's 2 good scenes in it, and everything else sucked.
I think it had some good ideas, but it was
There were a couple.
Like, it had some good ideas, but like it's still kind of all over the place. There's like 5 different plot lines.
Yeah.
They don't meet up with each other in a very clean way.
No.
The core idea they seem to be getting at is sort of is not presented in a very clear way.
No.
And moreover, right, it's a film that needs a sequel to justify its existence.
Right.
Which I'll actually kind of say was true of A New Hope as well.
It was definitely true of Empire.
Yeah, so
being a cliffhanger almost.
But then the third Disney Star Wars film came out. I don't remember its name. Do you even remember its name?
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I had to think about it.
And that's just ass. It's
just so bad. I remember thinking like, I want to see it just as in kind of a morbid mode, right? Like J.J. Abrams was back and he sucks at endings, but like, what are you gonna do with it? And what he did was fucking nothing.
Right. It'd be easier to get drunk and write a better fucking plot outline for that movie on the back of a napkin at a Waffle House. Like, I think that would have made a better story. And like, even like the nuts and bolts of it don't make any sense and are stupid and are ass. Like, the fight scenes aren't cut together correctly.
Yeah.
A bunch of it doesn't make sense. It's like Palpatine's back. It's like, what? Why? Like,
literally the line is somehow Palpatine returned. I'm like, oh, like, somehow?
like in the expanded universe of books, right, for the Lucasverse, right, there was they did do the same thing, right? They did bring Palpatine back, but they did make like an explanation of it that makes some kind of sense, which is that he has a whole bunch of clones in the galaxy. And so he can like use his Force Ghost to repossess them and, you know, become alive again. It's like, well, okay, I guess that makes, you know, kind of sense, even though it's kind of bullshit. You know, why if you could do this the whole time, why did he stick around in such an old and haggard body for so long? But you know, whatever. It's fanfic, you know.
Also, I think it took him a while to develop it. It wasn't just like the very next thing they released. You know, it was a series.
Yeah, there was other shit that happened in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
And also just how the Star Wars sequels just insist on everybody being related to each other somehow.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck is the entire Star Wars triple trilogy about like 3 families? The Skywalkers, the Solos, and the Palpatines, right? And like half the fucking characters are in one of those families. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, that's ass. This is a long way off of Halo. There's a Halo TV series, which I watched a very small amount of, and was like the second they removed his Master Chief's helmet, I was like, nope, they don't get it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. They don't understand.
They don't get it. Especially inexcusable, given that the fucking Mandalorian TV series had come out, where they keep him in a helmet for the entirety of the first season until the very last scene of the first season.
Yeah, and they don't know they're gonna get a second season there. So okay, fine, I get it. You gotta take the helmet off at some point. But
yeah, and you know, it makes sense for his character and it plays into stuff. But you know, just John Halo casually taking off his helmet is just like, yeah, they don't get it.
And I mean, at the very end of Halo 1, he takes his helmet off, but at the moment he does, it's blocked by the top of the broadsword, or the longsword, rather.
Yeah.
And so you don't see it. And at the beginning of 2, he puts his helmet on, but you don't see it, because, they deliberately don't show you his face.
Yeah. And, and then they focus on UNSC suppressing rebellions or something, and it's all the shit nobody cares about in the backstory
before the Human Covenant War.
The Human Covenant War, and it's I get that filming a lot of the action scenes of the games would be ridiculously expensive, but could we start at least a little bit more of an interesting spot?
I mean, there are apparently some Halo spin-off novels that like apparently canonically Guilty Spark survives, I think, somehow. And like hooks up with some kind of freighter crew and they go around and have adventures and like do something else in the universe.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe have Master Chief be a side character and we focus on a UNSC Marine or something.
Yeah. That's what they did in with Mass Effect. The books largely don't follow, at least the book I read one of them, doesn't follow Shepard. It's other things that are happening. That's the whole advantage of like a big lore-filled universe is you have other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should do with Firefly, right? I mean, Ron Glass is dead and they can't bring back, everybody, it's been 22 years, they can't really bring people back. But the universe is there. Tell other stories in that universe.
So here's a creative writing question. So we know, so we have an idea of how Halo 4 actually turned out.
Uh-huh.
So if you were tasked with, okay, we're making a Halo 4, what's the story?
I mean, there's parts of the post Halo 3 world that kind of make sense. Like there's the I forget what they're called, but there's the brutes who are sort of still fighting the war, even though everybody else has kind of put their guns down. That's kind of acceptable. There are the tensions that remain in the UNSC that were just sort of put on hold by the war. I mean, stuff like that. I don't know. I think I would move away from engaging with like Forerunner shit. It would just sort of be there in the background. Maybe there's a cool Forerunner artifact that, some asshole got hold of and is going to blow up a planet and we're going to go stop him. But I don't know. I think most of the steam is run out on Halo by Halo 3.
And then Halo Reach is a prequel.
Yeah, Halo Reach is a prequel. It's an interesting one because it's Reach. The first game starts, they're running from the destruction of Reach.
Yeah. My cat has decided that this is the time she really wants to be held.
Yeah. Isn't that always the case?
Halo's probably never going to be good again.
4 wasn't good. I didn't play the others. I'm told Infinity was not super good. It was too too much trying to be modern microtransaction shooter. I think.
Yeah.
Because it had seasons or something. I didn't play it.
Yeah.
And Halo is a local or online multiplayer game, plus a pretty decent single player storyline. That's what Halo is.
Yeah, and that kind of game just kind of isn't made anymore, right?
Right.
Like so this was an era. So Halo 1 was the era of the campaign is the main game, and the multiplayer is just like a fun side thing.
Mm-hmm.
Halo 2 and 3 are the multiplayer is the big thing, but there's still a fairly substantial campaign. Takes like 6 hours at least, whatever, right? Which is a good amount of time. Which is also true for Halo Reach. And then after, like, once we get to, the more recent Halo games, right? We're in our current era, right? Like, this just isn't a thing, right? Like, it's, very focused on live services, microtransactions, that sort of thing. So, like, most of these kind of first-person shooter games are just the multiplayer part, right? There's not really considerable campaign part.
There's supposed to be an Overwatch campaign.
Yeah, like, nobody cares.
No. The closest you might get is I was thinking, like, does anybody make FPSs anymore? And the answer is yes, of course they do, but they're boomer shooters types.
Yeah.
My guess is because they can slide back down the scale of, resource contribution to graphics resolution, and have a much more manageable game production process, so long as they don't try to make it pretty. They make it pretty in a stylized way, not in a realistic way.
Yeah. The boomer shooters are just more economical to make than...
Right.
What do we call this kind of shooter? Just a shooter now?
I guess. I mean, it's like a set piece FPS.
We'll call it a cinematic shooter. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Cinematic shooter with big
Yes.
cutscenes and things like that.
Yeah, so like cinematic shooters are just way more expensive to make.
Yeah.
And with boomer shooters, right, there's a lot less expectations around like fancy cutscenes or voice acting or lots of the other stuff that gets really expensive for a small studio.
Yeah, and there, for that reason, it's kind of like I played a little bit of Turbo Overkill, and it's one of those find the logs to get the background lore kind of things, at least a little bit, and that's much more acceptable for a game like that. And they're done in the form of here's a message somebody left for you, the character, and like, okay, that's fine. So you can have your lore heavy, stylized FPSs in a cool setting without having to break the bank. The closest you might come for this, I was just thinking about this. I've been playing Deliver Us Mars, which is the sequel to Deliver Us the Moon, which is a very pretty game with these big cinematic set pieces. But it's very much a climbing puzzle, find the log, learn the mystery kind of game, because you come in after something that's happening, you're trying to piece the puzzle together.
I mean, that's a very common trope for video games.
Yes. So I think you will find pretty games of this scale, but you won't find them as FPSs anymore. I think they're mostly going to be adventure games and puzzle games and things like that.
Yeah, so one thing I am sort of surprised about, or at least might happen, right, is a hybridization, right, where like some of the advantages of the cinematic shooter, right, is that a lot of the encounter design and the level design is a lot easier because you have regenerating health and limited weapons, right? So you can zero out the player's situation a lot more easily as a designer, whereas trying to expect what the player's resource consumption rates are in boomer shooters is a lot harder. And it's very easy in those cases to either give way too much or way too little of a variety of resources.
True.
Whereas with a cinematic shooter, right, it's much more, whatever. It also allows for having hit scan enemies with regenerating health and that stuff. So, maybe like a hybridization with some of those mechanics, but more like the aesthetics of a boomer shooter.
That could be interesting. They're doing some really neat stuff with older engines in boomer shooters these days. People are really clever.
I mean, the GZ Doom engine has been tortured into all kinds of shapes.
God.
Like,
what was it? Civi was talking about some really awesome looking game, and it's like, oh yeah, this is in the Doom engine. I'm like, what did you say?
Yeah, it's Sulaco, I believe it's
Sulaco. Yeah, Sulaco.
Yeah, you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, this is Doom. It's like, what? Yeah, it's Doom.
Yeah, like once you get behind like the amazingly pretty graphics and all the little tricks they do to make lighting and shit like that, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, it is Doom.
And also, like, if you look at some of the other like GZ Doom fan projects, like, so there's a total conversion mod that turns Doom that uses GZ Doom to make a 3D Sonic game.
Oh my god!
I think I've shown it before.
That's awesome.
But
send it to me again because I fucking love that. I
okay,
love 3D Sonic.
So better, right? Even better than that, right? There's a mod for that there's a total conversion mod for that total conversion mod that turns it into a kart racer.
Oh, excellent. You should see more kart racers. They're pretty easy. At least they seem pretty easy, like structurally.
I think it's more of a problem of the audience they have access to.
I guess that's true.
Right, so like kart racers are really good for like children or more casual audiences. And
That's fair.
And if you're an independent developer, the easiest platform to distribute to is PC, and PC leans against those two audiences.
Fair enough.
Right, most of those audiences are more on console or particularly like the Nintendo Switch. And of course, right, if you have a Nintendo Switch, why not just buy fucking Nintendo's Kart Racer?
Yeah. In fact, I own a copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But which is just a port of the it's a port of the Wii U version, I think, with some extra stuff. So they didn't even make a new one. But anyway, yeah. I'm really like I know big AAA companies love throwing lots of money at games. And like there is a place for lots of money in games, particularly if you want like lots of dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
because you got to pay voice actors.
Like Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yeah.
I've been playing a bit that independently myself. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
I'm way
right, but I've been playing that, and it's just like, holy shit! There's a ton of voice acting in this game. Right,
so much.
Just so much. I wouldn't be surprised if half the fucking install size or more is just the fucking voice lines.
I'd believe it. Because the game itself, like, it's pretty, but all the cutscenes are rendered in engine, and so it's not like you needed to have your own cutscenes. So,
yeah. So like, it looks really good. It has a ton of voice acting. It plays pretty good. That sort of thing, right? Like Baldur's Gate 3 is like, yeah, this is a premium high grade game. Like, yeah,
worth the $60 you paid for it.
Yeah, easily. Like, they could probably sell it for $80, and it's still
actually, yeah,
$100. We're getting into maybe territory. More than that, right? You're probably losing too many people.
Yeah,
but like, $60. No, this is definitely a $60 game.
Oh yeah.
I think Baldur's Gate 3 was the first game I played a full $60 for in like a decade.
I bought Cyberpunk, and yeah, other than that, it's been a while.
But a lot of these games are just like, one, they're just totally fucked by the new monetization model, right?
The new paradigm.
The new paradigm. Fucking, I hate it so much.
It sucks.
It sucks so much. It's terrible. It's just like, hey, here's this thing you love. Look, let's now watch me smear shit all over it. Yeah, you love that, don't you? You love watching shit. It, flood into all its little crevices. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
it does. I mean, it does push you and I either into nostalgia, so we play Halo 3 again, or into the indie scene, which is quite good. The indie scene, but like you look at like Bethesda, right? And Bethesda, we could talk a million years about Bethesda, but specifically Starfield, which is like, as I understand it, I haven't played it. As I understand it, is like 20 or 30 hours of a game, and then just gobs and gobs of garbage and nothing, right? Because they did too much in procedural generation. Like, if you're gonna spend that much money, make a game.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? In addition to the the microtransaction and that monetization model, I think, is the worst thing in gaming at the moment, right? Just flat out, right? It is predatory. It ruins the experience of the game, even for people who pay for it. So on and so forth, right? I think the second worst thing, design trend in games, is the movement towards what I can only describe as content games, right? Like your Ubisoft open world sandboxes.
Oh yeah.
Right, where it's just where the game is really just like this medium to deliver onto you this like generic slop experience.
Yes.
It's like we couldn't think of how to make an actually interesting level, so we just like made a bunch of bases for you to, raid. And that's it. Oh, here's a bunch of collectibles you can pick up all over the map. Here's here's 50 versions of the same mini game. Et cetera, et cetera.
I know this is a game just for me, but like, so speaking of Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I still haven't finished because I get to the part where it's like we're gonna lean more heavily on the like not sailing around being a pirate shit, and I just don't give a shit. But like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I want to be a pirate. I want to sail around. I want to actually have like ship upgrades and things, which they kind of did, but like in a more core mechanical way, and actually have to like, I gotta make money and blow this dude up, and maybe I can make a base on an island somewhere, and I gotta defend the base. The base has to get built up because it has to defend against the British and the Spanish and all that shit. And like that is a game that I want single player.
Yeah. Like I think nobody has made the definitive pirate game.
No. They keep trying, but it's just, hey, we're gonna have pirates multiplayer. Like, no.
Right, no. I don't think that's even true for multiplayer, right? I don't think that there's been a definitive... Right, like Sea of Thieves flopped super hard. There was another pirate crew simulator sort of thing, which was more realistic, right? Which I think is super interesting.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Like a bridge simulator, but it's a pirate ship. Oh my god.
Yeah, like it was kind of like that actually. Like,
shit, that'd be cool.
So like the ships were like more realistically sized, and like you had to like different players had to like cooperate in like loading and firing individual cannons and shit. Right. So
oh man,
like that's super cool, but also it's inherently going to be super niche, right? Because it requires highly coordinated teams of players in order to play the game effectively.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to literally actually run an organization in your video game?
Yeah.
Like, I do, because I'm a nerd, but...
it's like the...
I understand why most people
wouldn't. It's like the Mountain Blade mods, right? There's a Napoleonic War mod for it, where, like, they're like these huge multiplayer servers of, like player... that organize, like, player guilds of, like, individual regiments.
Oh God.
To fight in like no shit line formations.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool.
It's like we're playing this game, we're gonna drill, we're gonna march in line, we're gonna go to the enemy, we're gonna shoot them at like 2 bullets a minute, and we're gonna die immediately.
And they're posting on fucking Reddit somewhere with their intricate backstories for their characters.
Yeah, so like that stuff's super cool, but it's also just it's never gonna hit a mass audience. Like dope as hell, never gonna make money.
Did you ever watch was it Gun Gale Online? It's sort of a spin-off to Sword Art Online.
I remember it a little bit.
I think it's Gun Gale Online. It's the little pink girl, and she's really good with guns. Anyway, the point is, she starts off because the real person playing this character is tall, and she wanted to play a short character, and you have to anyway. She plays a bunch of different games, and one of them is like, here's a full dive VR jet fighter sim game, because all this is open source and people are making their own games. And I'm like, that's exactly the kind of shit I want, right? I want a platform that people can easily construct their own cool-ass games. And I can go in and be like, I'm going to, fly in a fighter squadron today, or I'm going to sail in a pirate fleet. And
I'm actually, I'm sort of surprised that vehicle simulators aren't more popular in VR.
That's true.
Right, like
flipping switches is hard, but yeah.
Yeah, like I understand there's like technical limitations, right? But to make consider the technological horizon we're dealing with, right?
Right.
Making a really good control interface for being. It's a little bit easier with jet fighters, right? Because jet fighters are already a little bit Like you need a joystick and you need a throttle, and then you can sort of futz it with the keyboard.
Right.
But let's say like a tank, right? Like you want to like VR tank crew. And it's like you just can't do it with a mouse and keyboard, not right at least. And making like a custom controller interface is just no go. Like that's just not going to happen, right? like they did it with Armored Core, right? But like that. The era of that sort of thing is long past, right? You're never going to make money on it.
The custom control, no.
Yeah, that era is gone, and I think it died with the motion control shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like the Switch has it a little bit because it's like, oh, you can use your Joy-Cons as drumsticks, but that's about it.
Yeah, and even that is sort of like, that's sort of off to the side.
Right.
And I think they mostly use it as an anti-piracy measure, honestly.
Sure, fair enough.
But like so given that manufacturing a custom control interface is not going to happen, right? Your next best is VR.
I had this thing, I was doing flight simulators for a while, and I had this thing like, you have a webcam, and you have this special thing you put on like the brim of a baseball cap or something that you wear. And so, I had a triple monitor setup for this flight sim. And if you turned your head, the camera would track the way you turned your head, and it would change the display across these monitors so that you could look, 45 degrees to the left, and it would turn the image like 90 degrees to the left or something. You know what I mean? Like, so you could kind of look behind you.
So it exaggerates your head movement so you can look around.
Yeah, exactly. And that was quite immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could kind of get around the fact that there's the bezels on the screens and all that, and you have the HOTAS, the hands-on throttle and stick, and the keyboard, and that worked pretty well. And so VR, like if I had a VR tank simulator, like I get used to not having force feedback on pulling buttons or pulling levers and pushing buttons and stuff. You get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently the military, I think DARPA, is working on like brain-computer interfaces, and I can't wait for the spin-off to the consumer sector, where we can start using that to play video games.
Like Damon a while ago posted that video of that lady who beat Elden Ring using a neural interface.
Yeah, I'd have to look at that because there are some neural interfaces that are like for toys, and they don't really have a lot of high fidelity.
Yeah.
The really good ones require, or the ones that are by today's standards really good, require surgery. I'm not getting brain surgery to play a video game. But
you don't want you don't want Musk's brain chip?
No, the Neuralink. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I don't trust Musk enough. I've seen the Cybertruck. No.
No, I saw one in the wild the other day. It is even worse than you think it is.
Yeah, I've seen it in person. Yeah,
it's horrible. It's so bad.
It's in the park. Like, there's someone at my workplace that owns one, and I've seen it.
Oh my god!
Place, and it's just like, I look at it and it's like, this is stupider than it even looks in the pictures. Like, this is
the pictures make it look good.
Yeah,
that's how stupid it is.
Yeah, the pictures are good. Make it look better than it really is. It's like you just stand next to the thing and it's like, this is fucking stupid. Like, this is a ridiculous design. What the fuck were they thinking? Right? Like because
they were thinking they want to keep their jobs.
Right, because the Cybertruck doesn't look like a truck, right? But it's sized like a truck.
Yes.
Exactly,
it's a big car.
Yeah, because the thing
Too big.
Right, the thing is, it would, right, and that's the thing that doesn't come across in pictures, right? Like, if you look at it in pictures, right, it looks car-shaped, so you assume car size.
Right.
And, like, if it were car-sized, I think, like, it would be better, right? But it is car-shaped but truck size, and that's stupid.
It's like a Ford F-150 is way too tall. Like, the headlights come up to your shoulder, and that's how tall a Cybertruck is.
Yeah, it's way too tall, it's way too wide, it's like, it's clearly not good. Like, like, what condition is this thing even meant to drive in, right? It's not good in urban traffic. It's not good off-road. What the fuck?
No. It's not meant to drive. It's not meant to exist in the world.
Yeah, it's...
If it could speak, it would say, kill me, over and over again.
Yeah, and then you know, all the people's like the manufacturing issues, and it's also another example of like lowering expectation that Musk does all the time, right? Where it's like, oh, this is gonna the Cybertruck is gonna, you know, instead of having an internal frame, it's gonna be like an exoskeleton and have like a shell, and that's actually like interesting, right? There's actually
a monocoque design, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually like interesting engineering stuff you could do. There's potential for like greatly reducing the weight of the vehicle and that sort of stuff. And no, it just has a normal frame.
Yeah, like I went on the Cybertruck website because I saw this thing in real life. I'm like, I have to actually go here and look at it, what they're advertising, why anyone would want to buy one of these. And like one of the things they advertise is like, oh, there's no paint, so there's no chipping. And we're like, there's no clear coat either, so that's just rust.
Yeah, just rust.
It's
right?
just so tough.
You want to ruin someone's Cybertruck? Go up to it with a spray bottle.
Yeah, right. And like you go on the website and they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's tough, and they like show somebody hitting it with a hammer or something, and it you know, it doesn't dent. And I'm like, but I want it to dent because otherwise that energy goes into me.
Yeah, they don't understand the concept of crumple zones.
Yeah, I'm like, how did this thing did this thing pass and you know NTSB safety? Like, is that do cars not have to do that? I thought they had to pass some kind of minimum safety standard. Maybe they just have to advertise it. I wonder what the advertised safety standard is.
I mean, it might also be the case that it might also have to do something with like dealerships going up. Like, like if they don't go through dealerships, they might not be subject to the same regulations.
Which explains why they wanted to do that. Because
let me put this out here. I actually agree with Elon Musk and Tesla that the dealership mediation relationship is bullshit. It just adds thousands of dollars to the cost of vehicles for no good fucking reason, right? That is a good idea. Direct sales. They should. That is a good idea. They should sell something actually worth buying.
Yeah, my understanding is the dealer model came about because people would like buy a bunch of lemons, you know, put their own logo on it, you know, get some money to sell these lemons, and then by the time anybody came back to return the car company was out of business. You know, because they'd just taken their money and ran. So I don't think the dealership was the best way to do that, but I guess I get it. So we have to address that problem. But like, if you're a car company, you kind of want dealers because you basically just sell them a car and then you get the money and you don't care anymore. Like, there's all sorts of complicated financial shit going on with the dealer manufacturer relationship. So the manufacturer comes out on top. Like, they lease the cars to the dealer, and so the dealer has a lien on the car, and then when you buy the car, you basically pay it's weird. I don't remember exactly how it works, but
I mean, other countries don't have the dealership model, so like it's clearly not super necessary.
I guess that's true. Yeah, other countries also have, you know, a regulatory state that matters.
Also true.
If we had one of those, I'd agree with you. No dealers, but yeah, no, I fucking hate going to the car dealer.
Yeah, like if we replaced, I'd prefer to replace the dealership with a functional regulatory apparatus.
Yes.
Though I do understand how replacing the dealers with nothing might cause problems.
But that's what Elon Musk wants, I guess. Like it to sell these horrible cars without having to advertise their. I don't know. That's speculation on my part.
I mean, I don't
know what Elon Musk wants.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure Elon Musk knows what Elon Musk wants.
I mean, my guess is ego boosts and money, and that's basically it.
I mean, I saw somebody online somewhere, maybe on Reddit. Basically, like, Elon Musk is just a very sad man. Like,
I mean,
I think he's had a number of relationships fall apart, and some of his kids don't like him, and like, he has all the money in the world, and he's not happy. And I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Like, but most of that's his own damn fault. Like, he's a philanderer, right?
Oh
like,
no, he lies in the bed he made, but
Yeah, like
yeah,
the guy's a huge philanderer, right? He gets with women, he knocks them up, he dumps them, and he's stuck with the child support, like all the time.
That's why he needed a $50 billion bonus last year, or whatever it was.
And of course, his kids hate him, right? Like who wouldn't hate the fact that you're related to Elon Musk? Like,
who would want? I mean, he's just the least. This is I think I don't understand. Okay, like I watched the debate, right? Biden Trump debate, and I kind of get how people would be like, "Oh, Donald Trump is kind of charming," right? Like I get it a little bit, but I don't understand how anybody could look at Elon Musk and go, "Oh, this man, I want to get in bed with him." Like I don't like in any sense of the word. I don't get it. He's like the least charming man. He doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. Why would anybody like? He has a lot of money, I guess. And some people like that.
Like, he doesn't even dress sharply. Like, you can just hire someone to fix that for you.
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, don't try to dress sharply. If I just be like, I'm gonna wear a fucking, open shirt and cargo shorts and run around all day and just be me and not give a shit. And at least you'd be honest. Mm-hmm. But like, being like, oh, I'm rich and
you sort of,
I don't get it.
That sort of rich guy business casual.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fucking, if you were at a country club, you'd have a sweater slung over your shoulder for no reason. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get the carnal appeal of Elon Musk either. Really just doesn't do anything for me.
Like, I get if you like SpaceX, I don't really know why you would, but if you do, and therefore you like Elon Musk for founding SpaceX, that at least is a pathway to it that I kind of understand. But just be like, oh, Elon Musk, there he is. Like, I want to have that guy's baby. Right, like, no.
Like, the more you know him, the more you hate him.
Like, I don't know. I've never met the man. I don't know him anyway personally. I only know him through observing what he does. And if I was in the same room as him, I think I would leave as soon as I could. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I look at Grimes, and I'm like, Grimes, you're a successful artist. Why would you want to be with this man?
Probably money.
Yeah, well, she's not with him anymore. It probably means something. But
probably because the money wasn't actually worth it.
Yeah.
And they only realized that one too late.
Yeah, I mean, I guess money can make up for sheer shortcomings, but money, it's diminishing returns, my friends.
Yeah, money can make up for a lot, but it can't make up for everything.
That's right. We've come a long way from talking about Halo.
But that's just how we are.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's... Anyway, they don't make these kinds of games anymore. Most modern games are microtransactions hell or their content slop.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't make these kinds of games anymore, and they probably never will again.
Yeah, they probably never will, right? They might in a long time once the tools make it cheap enough for independent developers to do it.
Right.
Right, because...
Don't expect it anytime soon.
Right, because, the reason why independent developers make better games is because they're too poor to opt into the shitty model, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so it's one of those happy accidents, right? In order to do the microtransaction garbage or the content slop, you kind of have to have a lot of money and infrastructure up front. So that means if you're poor, you can't do it.
Right, and you're stuck making a product that you have to entice people to want to buy.
Yeah, you have to make a product that is actually good, actually. So
this is why we should take all the money away from rich people and corporations every 5 years.
So cinematic shooters like this probably won't come back for a long time.
Yeah.
And of course, when they do come back, they'll come back woke. Master Chief, more like Mistress Chief.
You can't. Did you assume their gender? Can't do that.
I think Master Chief is very. I think he's established as male. Or master.
Today he is. Who knows how they'll retcon things in the future?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just navigating culture as best I can.
Oh yeah, aren't we all?
Okay, how about we just assume transnormativity, right? All characters are transgender until otherwise stated.
I'm going to go down the Taoist route and claim that any attempt to draw a circle around anything is against the Tao. And so it's just nothing. Nobody's anything.
No one shall contain the Dow Jones.
Dow Jones.
Anyway, like, and if they do come back, they'll come back in a different cultural context, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I've had this recorded before, but I've told you, Skyrim's a bad game. Fight me. I hate it. It's the beginning of Bethesda's true content slop era.
It's a framework upon which we hang our mods.
And I'll tell that Starfield.
There's not enough game in Starfield. You'd have to make a game to mod it to be good.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, man, I'm not looking forward to how generative AI interacts with game design.
No, I'm just gonna stop. I've already stopped using most of the internet.
Yeah, like they're shoving generative AI into all sorts of shit that has no business being in.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, your Microsoft Word processor, yes. You know how it's worked basically fine for the last, 30 years? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna fuck it. God damn it, Microsoft. Why the fuck are you doing this? Like the one thing that was a rock in my life, and you've got on and busted it apart.
You just go back to LibreOffice. LibreOffice is where it's at. It's not as good as Microsoft Office, but it doesn't have fucking Microsoft up its ass.
It's like, oh, this sentence, you could clean up this sentence. It's like, no, this sentence is meant to be overly complicated, you fuck.
I've used their online suite before, and it's like, 85% well written. I'm like, fuck you, I have my own style.
Yeah, like how I'm writing my story, where it's like, it doesn't understand any of the words I'm using. It's like, fuck you, you're not gonna correct that word, because this word's from the fucking 15th century, man, and you're not up to the task.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's because it's a bubble, like everything else.
Yeah,
so they gotta put it in there, or they're not gonna make any money off of it.
Well, they're not gonna make any money off the investors. They're not actually gonna make any money off of it.
No,
but
in fact, running the AI costs more than they make from it.
Oh, definitely, right? Every pull of that, pull the arm of that slot machine costs a couple cents, right? And that arm gets pulled an awful lot of times.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because which I think will be the thing that ultimately kills it, right? It's going to. Right, the hype is going to meet the reality of running the server farms.
It always does. That's what Feynman said. You can't fool Mother Nature.
And what's going to happen is, barring the possibility that they manage to vastly reduce the cost of operation, probably by an order of magnitude, it's not going to be economically viable, right? Like, even if generating an image costs 2 cents, that's too much.
Right.
Right. In order to generate a single image somebody wants, they're gonna roll that dice 50 times, right? And that's $1, right? And if they're using it regularly, how many bucks a month is that? Probably more than the 10 you're charging them.
Right. And, you're going to hit the limit of, how much can we really charge people for it? And right now it's probably the most, because you're getting all the early adopters.
Yeah.
Who are willing to spend extra money on stuff, and you know how that curve goes, up and down again.
Well, the thing is that a lot of the services currently are free. But right, like you can find like chatbots online and whatnot that use like ChatGPT 3, but not like
the old one, yeah.
Yeah, not the most up to date one, but the one that was just like the one before. That'll just let you like chat with bots for free, like for ages. Right, but like people, but you can't take a service that was free and make it paid because that's going to make everyone pissed. Right.
Right.
And
it's just
so they can't make the stuff that's free pay because I'll just piss off all your users and drive them elsewhere. And the stuff that they have is paid is probably not priced high enough, and also still not of a high enough quality to justify the pay. Right. Like Damon linked, which I mentioned to you before, linked to me like this AI Dungeon Master program.
Oh yeah.
Like and they want like $15 a month to use it.
Fuck that.
And it's ass. It's total garbage. It's like you're the worst DM you've experienced back in college or high school. It's like that guy. Like,
oh god.
Like, doesn't understand how story works or how characters work. Just throwing random plot hooks at you all the time.
And even if it could do that, can it understand, here are my players. I play with them all the time. I have a decent understanding, like, all right, I'm going to tweak this to kind of fill what they want and respond to them in a dynamic way. Like, no.
No. Right. And moreover, right, it actually runs into one of the big problems with AI chatbots, at the very least, which is that they are overly compliant. Right, so like in a in a D&D game, which you can watch elsewhere in Total Party Kill, right?
Yeah, right.
Right, like if you say like, I want to transform into an elf and then explode, right? It's like, no,
it's like,
you
no,
can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because right, and that has to do with the idea of understanding the semantic content of what we're talking about, right? We have an imagined world in which there is like a meaning to things, right? And like in the imagined world of your typical fantasy adventure game, right? Well, you can't just do that, right? You need like magic or something at the very least. And the problem is that the AI bot doesn't understand that and will just kind of go along with whatever you suggest.
Yeah.
Right. So it ends up being an overly permissive DM where it allows too much variation in its possible inputs.
It's also like it's I don't know if this is a tech bro thing.
Oh, also it's broken as shit, right? It can't keep track of your equipment or spells or anything. It's
anything you'd actually want it to do.
Yeah,
dynamically.
Weirdly, right? Like you'd think, right? Like keeping track of like all of your like stats and inventory and shit, right? Like computers are good at that. Of course, it would be good at it.
Yeah.
Nope, trash at it.
Well, it's also it looks at the phenomenon of playing Dungeons and Dragons as a purely mechanical function, as opposed to the deeply social function that it's like those chatbots. Yeah, you can sit there and talk to chatbots all the time, and that can be fun for a little bit, I guess. Just play with the technology. But if you find that like this is your primary social outlet, you need to get out of the fucking house.
Yeah. It isn't an effective replacement for social connection, right?
No.
Right, because I mean, interacting with that chatbot actually made me really think about like why isn't tabletop D&D obsolete, right? We got technology of video games is so advanced, right? You can do art and graphics and have a pre-written story and all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think it's two things. There's the mechanical aspect, which is that a real-life Dungeon Master has so much more variety than a computer program, right?
Right.
They are slow, they are inefficient, but they have incredible variety.
Right.
As opposed to a computer program where the designer has to anticipate how players might want to interact with stuff. And really, it's like one of the reasons why Baldur's Gate 3 is so good is because they play tested the fuck out of it for years.
Oh, it took like 7 years to make or something, didn't it?
Yeah, and like 3 of it was like play tests.
Yeah,
tests and shit.
exactly.
Right? So they got a ton of feedback about like what are the different significant stuff that people might want to do. Most projects don't get that luxury. And even
No.
then, right, there's still technically some stuff you might want to do in Baldur's Gate 3 that it doesn't allow you to do. Although it does do a surprisingly large amount of it.
Right.
But a real-life Dungeon Master just has so much variety to interact to process the game in such a highly interactive manner that just no program can do. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect is the social aspect, right?
Right.
D&D is a really good way to make and keep friends.
Right.
It's which is just not true of single-player video games for obvious reasons. And it's really not even that true of most multiplayer video games because of the sort of anonymity level of, multiplayer lobbies.
Yeah. It's even a good way. It's like bowling. It's a good way to make and keep friends who aren't just, in your own little circle, right? Like people who are different than you. Like you can bond over D&D.
Yeah. It's a good way of meeting new people and doing new stuff and all that other stuff, right? So there's this huge social aspect to it as well. And so the AI bot can't fill that social aspect because it's not a real social being. And it can't do the high variety bit because it doesn't understand the semantic content of what the hell it's talking about, which is sort of essential for any kind of long-running RPG game.
Yeah.
And also, like, it also, like, it doesn't have, like, a sense of humor, right? Like how much of the Barrel Maze game was defined by me just, like, running on some joke you guys made.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. And those jokes that become like the I was watching I forget who it is. There's some real play D&D group on YouTube, or they have a podcast or something. They have like Chuckles the Insane Clown.
Oh yeah, I know you guys are talking about.
Yeah. And like that obviously is like a one-off thing that just became this lore thing, and it actually gets built into the game as you go forward, and it's a joke, but it's also serious, and I can't imagine that happens in AI generated shit.
Yeah, it doesn't have the ability to memorize it. It doesn't have the semantic understanding of it, and it also just doesn't have a sense of humor.
Yeah. It's just a glorified Eliza bot. That's all it is.
And
it just reflects yourself.
Like in our Barrel Maze game, like the example of our Chuckles is actually Jim Shady, right? Which originated in one of the first sessions where we brought treasure back to the antique shop, and they were like, well, where do you get all this stuff? It's like, oh, we bought it off of this guy Jim Shady over in Bogtown.
And then, from there comes Shim Jady, and then he becomes Stan, and becomes an actual, like, useful and important member of the party, and we make the big last stand against the bad guy together, and there it is.
And then Jim Shady becomes king, and it's like this whole thing.
And it turns out all of the player characters were actually just supporting characters in the tale of Jim Shady. You couldn't have written that, much less had a robot do it.
Yeah, it's... right. Yeah. So having, it's just not good enough, right? It's just like, even as like setting aside like plagiarism, what it does to people in creative jobs and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The result is just not sufficient, flat out, for basically any application outside of some very niche circumstances.
I like the idea of summarizing my 100 emails a day so I don't have to read them all. But other than that, and you don't need an AI to do that.
I mean, most of that's going to be, all these emails are pointless. Just delete them.
I didn't check my email for 3 months, and every single email I got was pointless.
Yeah. Like, you almost never get an email that's worth anything, which also has to do with, like, this greater social phenomena of every means of communication getting filled up with garbage. But anyway. But the big game companies, in order to get those investor bucks, are going to try to find ways to shove these generative AI models into video games now. And, like the only thing that I think might be vaguely tolerable would be using it to, like, generate incidental NPC dialogue.
Oh.
But that's kind of it.
Even then,
it's like you could just write NPC dialogue, right? Like,
I and I don't think we broadcast. No, we didn't broadcast any of them. But in our Blades in the Dark game from last year, the character of Inspector Robard, who came out of a dice roll that they flubbed, and I just had to invent it. It became my favorite character to play.
mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to give that up to it. Like, as a DM, I'm not going to give that up to a robot. I hope my players don't want me to be replaced by a robot.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing, right? Also, like, that's also another thing, right? Silicon Valley has been absolutely setting fire to all possible goodwill.
Yes.
Right? So I've mentioned to you before, like, without broadcasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at how the Vocaloid people market Vocaloid programs versus how these AI chuckle fucks are marketing, like, voice generation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, Vocaloids programs are made by musicians and sound engineers for musicians and sound engineers. And they know that, and they, it's like, oh, instead of just having, like, here's voice 2, right? It's like, oh, we're going to give it a character and a mascot, and we're going to...
have concerts that people go to in real life.
Yeah, the concerts that people go to in real life, right? And there's a lot of effort into trying to generate positive feels around their product among the customer base. Right? Versus these new AI generators where the business guys in charge are like, fuck you, you're obsolete, you're shit, you're worthless, you're going to be out of a job, you're going to be out of a hobby, and we're going to control everything. And it's like, fuck you, man. Like, what? Right?
There's this book called Fire in the Valley, which is about the early days of the personal computer industry. And they talk about, I think it was MITS, or maybe it was IMSI, one of the early computer companies. And they basically had the business and marketing dudes in one building, and the engineers and the people who made everything in the other building. And they rarely talked to each other. So the engineers and stuff, they get orders for shit that just didn't exist yet. And so they had terrible quality control because they're trying to rush all these orders out and inventing stuff that doesn't exist. So, yeah, the point is, we should have learned a long time ago, never let the business people promise shit about engineering.
Yeah. And what they're doing is that they're thoroughly burning down their cultural cachet among the general populace, right? Who likes Silicon Valley at this point? Conservatives don't like Silicon Valley because they're ruining American values. Liberals don't like Silicon Valley because they're trying to take our fucking jobs. Who likes them?
They don't even like each other.
Right, they don't really like each other. The only people that deal with them are dipshit investors who don't realize it's a huge fucking bubble. And once that bubble pops, right, you're gonna go to the American people hat in hand, like, well, we're sorry for calling you a bunch of fucking smooth-brained idiots, but we kind of need money now.
I read that book, The Big Short.
I didn't read it, but I saw, like, the movie adaptation or something.
This fits in the movie, too, a little bit. Like, there's clear evidence that at least some of the people involved in this bubble knew it was a bubble, and they were just trying to get as much money out of it as they could before the bubble popped. I think that's how it is.
Oh, yeah.
All of this is just, like, everybody knows what's going on, or at least most people do. And it's just a big shell game of who can get everything else out first before the whole thing pops.
Yeah, like, I think they're gonna... I think the right there, everyone's so invested into AI succeeding as the new big thing that I don't think it's gonna pop until the server farms go online. And once the server farms go online and they just can't make any fucking money off of it, that's when it's gonna pop. And then once that pops, the economy's gonna fucking collapse.
Yeah.
Because all our stocks are tied into this tech industry that doesn't make anything.
The real estate thing people are like, oh, supply and demand. If the prices are high, there must not be enough supply. And so they've successfully tricked, especially local governments, into funding the construction of new housing that nobody can fucking afford.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a huge quantity of the value in the stock market is just completely on paper, is nothing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think you're right. One pebble comes out of the mountain and the whole thing's going to fall into the sea.
Yeah, and what's going to happen is, so the servers are going to go online. They're going to go into the red hard immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to panic. Investors are going to bail out. The tech industry is going to go under. And it's going to fuck most of the rest of the economy, incidentally. And I think they'll probably be in store for a pile of regulations to be put on the tech industry.
Well, it didn't happen to the housing industry, the investment industry, the insurance industry, or anybody else. But I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Hopefully, right? Because the tech industry in America is amazingly unregulated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just incredibly, right? Like the EU, right, puts some regulations on it, right? Like, hey, you can't actively promote neo-Nazis on your fucking website, like, this isn't cool, man, right? America just sort of do whatever you want, and they abuse a lot of that privilege, unfortunately. But yeah, they're gonna try to figure out some way of shoving AI into fucking AAA video games, and it's gonna suck ass, and nobody's gonna like it.
I'm gonna start reading books again if that happens.
I mean, again, right? I think you'll have the incidental boon of the indie scene being too poor to afford any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, that'll preserve at least some new games. What I do find somewhat worrying is using AI to, quote-unquote, remaster old media.
Oh, yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
I think you showed it to me.
Yeah, a guy named Neril who went over the remaster of the Terminator movie. Was it the Terminator movie? Right, Terminator was in there, but it was also like True Lies and Aliens.
It was Terminator 2. Terminator 2, True Lies, and Aliens.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was Aliens and True Lies.
Yeah. And just like how ass the AI is and whatnot.
Oh, they're terrible.
And like there's kind of a threat of these media companies being like, yeah, let's just do that to our entire back catalog. And then the only available version of this piece of media is the AI-ified version of it. It's like, what if it's like, instead of the burning of the Library of Alexandria, what if we got the scrolls out and just wrote fucking crowns all over them, right? Like,
I wonder if maybe we kind of should just lose a big chunk of media, because we sure like how much of what's happening now, a lot of it's the economic situation, but a lot of what's happening in media generation is just the same old shit over and over again. So maybe if we would just memory hold that whole, like, everything from like the 80s to the mid 2000s, just forget about it for like 20 years and see what kind of cool shit we invent then.
Well, I mean, it's ballooning budgets, right? Movies cost so much money to make, right? So movies are still the prestige art form of our society. Although they might not be in the near future. Because young people don't watch movies anymore. But still, as of now, although tenuous, right, is the prestige art form of our society. And they're so expensive to make that nobody's ever going to take a risk on them, right? So it's always an adaptation or a sequel or something. And the fact is it makes money that way.
They don't have to be that expensive.
I mean, that sort of gets into the question
Dune's
of, like...
not that expensive.
I mean, that gets into the question of, why do they have to be so expensive, right? Why not make cheaper movies why not, right? Just that. Why not make cheaper movies, right? Like even adjusted for like inflation and purchasing power and stuff. Like, like a bunch of like old action movies, like James Bond movies and like spaghetti westerns and stuff. Like they'd be fucking indie films nowadays. Their budgets,
Yeah.
right? Like where like you spent like an order of magnitude more money to not get much more quality out of it.
I saw this movie, Mars Express. It's an animated movie. I thought the ending was a little weak, but like it's very kind of Ruby animated. You know what I mean? Like a little stilted, a little too 3D in places. But you don't care. You're looking at this, and it like the style is just right, and like they incorporated it because it takes place on Mars, and so they could make the architecture kind of fit it, and it just looks really. You forget that it's a little bit of a cheesy animation quality.
I mean, so in my opinion, right, a lot of the push for realism in video game graphics and film special effects is to make the audience not feel embarrassed about what they like. Right.
Interesting.
Because, right, so the fact is right, if you, like, really break down, like, modern Marvel movies, they're basically cartoons for children.
Yeah.
Right? Almost everything you see on screen is CG in its entirety or modified in some way, right? Like
even stuff you wouldn't expect to be CG is CG.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's like one shot of like in one of the Marvel films of like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury just like sitting in an apartment room, right?
Yeah.
And literally everything except for Samuel L. Jackson and the chair is CG.
Yeah,
right. Like
I remember.
Like the gun he's holding, CG. The lights around him, CG. The wall, everything. It's like, why couldn't you just like go to an apartment and just film him sitting in a chair?
Right.
Like what? Like what's the?
I mean,
what's the hang up here?
What makes something feel cheap is high frame rates because they remind people of soap operas, but also poor lighting and bad camera work. So if you can get those down, you can film anywhere.
Yeah, but anyway, so now that I've sort of like established in the conversation at least, right? These are cartoons, basically right. Everything's CG. It's just like a really good Pixar movie,
right?
With like live action actors, sort of parading around in front of the cartoon. Their content is aimed at children, right? They have to be right? They're PG-13, but let's be real, right? Like,
yeah.
It's families, it's people with kids, it's whatnot, right? So, simple plots, simple themes, very straightforward. They're not complicated films. Right? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? There's lots of films that are very straightforward, that are fine or good or even amazing. Right? The problem is that your average American adult doesn't want to believe either of those things. Right. Because that means they spend their time and lots of money watching cartoons for children, and that would be, bad for their ego. Right? So it's like, well, we want to make you feel like you're mature and cultured or something, so we're going to sort of gussy up our cartoon for children in such a way that it looks kind of like a serious film for real adults. And assuaging people's anxieties over that, I think, is the main point of it.
Makes me glad that I am part of the generation that is too poor to grow up, and also that I realized I was a gigantic nerd early on in life.
Yeah, I mean, we're weirdos who don't care, so, like...
Yeah. I just fucking, we just watched cartoons for children.
Yeah.
They
don't even like it. Like...
Yeah, they don't even pretend not to be for children.
Some of them are really dope,
Yeah, some of them are great.
Some
of them you need to watch in order to understand one of the best pieces of literature written in the last 10 years.
That being the book written by you, Herath,
Practical
Utopia.
Yeah.
No, we got to plug your product, right? Like, anyway, the
No.
product you don't sell.
Yeah, the product I don't sell.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I've forgotten.
Necessary to understand one of the greatest pieces of...
Oh, no, I was talking about Fallout Equestria.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Fallout Equestria isn't for children.
No, it's not. But My Little Pony is.
Yeah. And so... right, so they cater to this sort of social anxiety, which they also sort of inadvertently reinforce by catering to it. And so it's very difficult to break away from that paradigm towards something that would be, just as good but way cheaper.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned this before, I think even on stream. Like I played Hi-Fi Rush. Rest in peace, that game studio. It's one of the best looking games I've ever fucking played. Like, cell shading, everything, right? How smoothly it flows between different animation styles and all kinds of other shit. Like, it's great. It looks like a cartoon that you can play. And there is a not insignificant portion of the American populace that would look at that and be like, no, I don't do shit for kids.
More pity to them.
And they just drag us all down with their shitty taste.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why are movies so goddamn expensive? They really don't have to be. Why are games so fucking expensive? They don't really have to be.
Because if you don't spend a lot of money on it, how can you be serious about it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's been fun streaming our discussion about the overhang to the eventual economic collapse.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how long that'll take.
I don't know if I want it to happen sooner or less soon. I don't know.
I just want it to happen at a time that's very convenient for me, personally.
It's fair.
Like, I don't think there's any preventing it at this point.
Oh, no. No, I think it would be good for us, actually, in the long run.
Although, right, although a lot of it's going to sort of depend on who ends up winning this fucking next presidential election, which is not making me feel good.
The longer we delay it, the harder it's going to be when it happens.
Like, just... What the... Like, can anyone look at that presidential debate and be like, yeah, this is a healthy society?
Oh, God, no.
Like this is a national embarrassment. This is...
I saw something, Biden, what is it? A Parkinson's expert has gone to the White House 8 times in 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And the White House cannot confirm why. And I'm like, it's because either Joe or Jill Biden has Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's not Jill Biden.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's... you hope the evil bastards that are in charge of anything are at least halfway competent, and they just aren't.
No, they're just not. I mean, that's the great tragedy, right? It's not that these people are evil and they are doing evil.
They're evil and they're stupid. It's just...
Well, it's... even if they wanted to get out of it, they can't.
Mm-hmm.
And they must perpetrate evil. Or rather, evil must be perpetrated. Because that's the structure of our society.
And it's just... Anyway, this will be fun to look back in many years from now. This stream, which I will end now, since we've gone long over the technical
very
end.
long.
Anyway, that's it for the stream. Thanks for anyone who's
Bye-bye.
hung out with us and to finish the flight.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Turtle drop.
Yeah, and ending the stream in 5, 4...